just knocked me tankard of dragon juice. 1 minute. Hello, guys. Glad you're all there ready. I'm just going to share this. So, Facebook. I'm afraid Liberace started up again. Literally about 5 minutes from going on the air, he starts, doesn't he? Yes, do I start up? Hang on a minute. Let's wipe up. I just spilt some water just as I was going live. Also, dragon juice. There we are. Okay, now Twitter. That went on Facebook, didn't it? Yes, I did. Right, Twitter. If I don't get deplatformed. Right. Your tweet's been posted. Right. What else? Right, Google Plus. Right? There's no Google Plus on here. No. Okay. Right. Welcome everyone. Hope you can hear me. We've got Luke Griffin, John Nolan, Steve071, and Julian Carver. Hello, guys. Diego Rivera is there, of course. Israel, Diego Rivera, Eugenio Lucentius Genius, DJ Buto, Artography, Corinthian Dog. Greetings. Can you all hear me? Am I audible? If you can hear Liberace, you can hear me, presumably. Oh, he's tickling the ivories again, isn't he? I said the other day, I asked him about using earphones. It turns out it's actually an acoustic piano. It's an old-fashioned mechanical piano, so he can't. So, guys, loud and clear. Thanks, Steve. Well, welcome to this live stream, everybody. I'm going to read out a little lead off. Just keep you up to date from the last one. Thanks, Corinthian Dog. Thanks, Luke. Just from the last live stream I did, and just give you the updates and some of the latest news. There might be breaking news during the course of this live stream, according to the parliamentary schedule. I'm actually right now. I've got a news page open, so I can actually keep up to date with what's going on. But anyway, I've got to apologise. Actually, some of you may be getting a little bit fed up with my focus on this single issue. And you may be afraid that Panwo TV is going to turn into Brexit TV. I can assure you that's not the case. I am focusing on this at the moment because I think it is a very important issue. I've actually made a video called Why 2016 Matters. And if you want to know why I think Brexit is so important, please click it. There's a link in the description box to it. Click it and watch it. I go into details about why I think Brexit is an important issue from a Panwo-esque anti-New World Order conspiratorial position. I know there's a lot of, I address some of the points that certain people have made trying to trivialize it, and I think they're wrong. And I explain why I think they're wrong. So do watch that for a bit of background. But what basically happened is, since the last live stream, which was last Wednesday, I've been away. I've been quiet for a while because I went to the Probe conference, which was very nice. Had a good time, sold about 10 books, met everyone, had fun. But I came back, and of course, everything's been going on in the meantime. Now, what happened the day after the last live stream was the EU leaders agreed to the Brexit delay plan. Now, I talked about this was a possibility. They did agree for a plan to delay the Article 50 process, which would postpone Brexit beyond the 29th of March, which means the title of this live stream would then be incorrect because it's not 2 days to Brexit. But at the time I'm actually broadcasting, it is just over 48 hours to Brexit. The actual official Brexit time, which is 11 p.m. this Friday. That is just 2 days away. And at the time I am recording this, at the time I'm actually broadcasting this, if you're listening to the recording, that still stands. It's still, nothing has been done to prevent that from happening. They've just got 2 days to change it. Now, the delays that have been offered by the EU are until the 22nd of May for in the event that the MPs approve the withdrawal deal. Theresa May's untouchable hot potato of a deal. Now, that's what Theresa May's task is. She has to get all the MPs who've previously opposed the deal to approve the deal. Now, to remind you, this will be the third reading of the bill, of this particular deal, her withdrawal deal, negotiated. This was originally known as the Chequers draft, which is now the actual bill. If you remember, the first time it was presented to Parliament, it was defeated by the biggest majority. It was by the biggest majority in terms of a government bill. It was the biggest government defeat since 1922, when Ramsay MacDonald was Prime Minister. And God knows what that was, probably extra hampers from Harrods or something, God knows. But anyway, then it was negotiated. It was then presented a second time, which was presented 2 weeks ago for a second time, when it was defeated again by a smaller margin, by just 120 votes. So if Theresa May is going to get this deal off the ground, she's going to have to persuade 120 MPs to change their position. And a lot of them are taking a lead from her coalition partners, the Democratic Unionist Party. At the moment, they're getting very cold feet about this, and I'll explain why in a minute. Now, if Theresa May's deal is turned down, then the EU will only back a delay to the 12th of April, which will allow us to just basically prepare for a no-deal Brexit, what the Ramonas call crashing out. All 27 member states were behind this. It was a unanimous agreement, and as I said last week, they were all making noises indicating they didn't want any kind of deal. They wanted to get this over with. Now, Theresa May wanted more. She wanted more than that. Theresa May, if anyone still has any modicum of respect for that woman, she was first taught at the earliest date. She wanted to discuss potential dates, a minimum of the 7th of May. That was her minimum date. But she was talking about to the end of the year and beyond, delaying Brexit to the end of the year and beyond. The reason is, of course, she thought she wanted to kick it down the road so that the chaos would eventually lead to a second referendum in which cancelling Brexit would be one of the decisions. Or either that, or she wanted to get it cancelled maybe through the High Court or the House of Lords or something. Really, I mean, it's funny how these even the globalists like Emmanuel Macron are actually backing the EU Commission on this. He's saying that the UK must leave without a deal if they vote down May's EU withdrawal agreement this week. Right? If she doesn't get this through this week, her deal, then Macron says you've got to get out. Your last day is the 12th of April, and that's it. So that's surprising from him. I think Macron's position is very indicative of the panic that is set in and the conflict within the elite circles. Now, what's happened is since then. So I'm just reading through my notes here. There's several timetables that have been laid out. I mean, Theresa May has said she feels personal regret over her request to delay Brexit. Bullshit! It's exactly what she wanted. So it looks like it seems quite likely, because I'll explain exactly why I think they may be able to block Brexit on Friday. They've got a good chance of blocking Brexit this Friday. And that is because there's some legislation they're going to vote on this week. Anyway, the 12th of April is actually the day before Palm Sunday. It's the Friday before Palm Sunday. So basically, the 12th of April is actually the no deal Brexit day. After that, Parliament goes on to its Easter recess, which is from the 5th to the 22nd of April. I bet your boss in your job doesn't give you that long off at Easter. You're lucky you may get the weekend. You may get the long weekend in most employers. But if you're in Parliament, you get much longer time off. So 11th of April would be Britain's last full date within the EU. Then they would decide whether they want to take part in European elections. I know Brussels really doesn't want that. If the date goes through, then the 22nd of May, they'll probably have to do something to get UK out of getting involved with the elections. But the 22nd of May would be their preferred exit day. That would be Brexit day from their position if Theresa May's deal goes through. Because on the 23rd to the 26th of May, European Parliament elections will actually happen. And on the 23rd of May would be when UK would take part. So that would be the one day too late. As I said, Theresa May was looking for the 30th of June. The new EU European Parliament begins on the 2nd of July. Not that it makes much difference because it's just for show, as I've said. Now, yesterday, there was a news story saying Brexit, not enough support for the Brexit deal vote yet, says the PM. She actually decided not to present her deal again because she said she didn't have enough support to win the vote as things stand. So presumably she thinks she's going to change things within a few days, does she? She said, yes, she would continue to try to get MPs to back it before putting it to the Commons for a third time this week. The PM also ordered Tory MPs to vote against a bid by a group of MPs headed by Tory Sir Oliver Letwin to hold votes on alternatives to her plan. Well, guess what? They agreed to it. I'll come to that in a minute. And she did say, but the Prime Minister said that the default outcome is still leaving the EU without a deal. Now, in my view, that's the best option. I'd ideally like us to leave without a deal on Friday. It looks like if we're going to leave without a deal, we're going to have to wait till the 12th of April. But that's just 2 more weeks. It's 2 more weeks. And then she said the alternative is to pursue a different form of Brexit or a second referendum, which of course is what she wants, which is what the EU does not want. And remember, the EU has to agree to everything and accept unilateral cancellation of Article 50. And that's the kicker. That's the dangerous bit, and that's the concern I have. And it said the government is going to seek. It's actually tonight, according to yesterday's news, that today the government is going to seek to change the UK's 29th of March departure date through a piece of secondary legislation, which would make 11 p.m. 12th of April the earliest Brexit date. Now, Corbyn, Sir Jeremy Corbyn, or soon to be Sir Jeremy Corbyn, no doubt, says his party will back Sir Oliver's ideas, and indeed it seems to have worked. Parliament has taken control of, at least in terms of these indicative votes. Sir Jeremy Corbyn to be, you may think he'd never be a sir, he'd never kneel in front of the Queen. If you've known him a long time, well, you'll know that actually he's turned out not to be the misguided but sincere crusader a lot of people, including me, thought he was. He's actually back in the second referendum now after a career as a part of the Labour left Eurosceptics and a person who said he would respect the referendum. Now, you may say, what is an indicative vote? I should explain that. Okay, there's a give BBC News their due. They are liars, but they do explain their lies very clearly. MPs have decided to try and break the Brexit deadlock by holding a series of indicative votes. Indicative votes are where MPs vote on a series of options designed to test the will of Parliament to see what, if anything, commands a majority. This is not law. These are not parliamentary bills. They're indicative votes. It's just almost like an opinion poll of the MPs. In the case of Brexit, supporters of indicative votes, that is Sir Oliver Letwin and Jeremy Corbyn, etc., believe it could provide a way out of the current political stalemate. Usually the government has control of what happens day to day in Parliament, but MPs are now back to proposal to take control of the timetable. MPs can put forward their preferred Brexit plans, and then tonight there'll be an agreement. We'll find out what those plans are, and the Speaker, John Bercow, will select some of them to be debated, the ones that the MPs like to be debated. MPs may ask to consider whether any plan agreed by Parliament should be put back to the public in another referendum, whether the UK should stop Brexit altogether by revoking its notification of Article 50. It's like we're going down, I feel like we're going down a corridor, and there's lots of doors leading off this corridor, and they have all kinds of different things, such as no deal Brexit, Theresa May's deal, etc., lots of different options. And then there's one door at the end which says cancel Brexit. And we're moving towards all these different doors, and the doors keep slamming. And it's like we're being led deliberately down towards the door that says no Brexit. And the government are treating this. We're being told this is some kind of natural process of the enormous task that they have, the terrible and very difficult task they have in delivering Brexit. This in monumental and Byzantine task that they are lumbered with has inevitably led to the cancel Brexit option. Please don't believe it. It's lies. It is the way that it's their way of stopping Brexit or trying to stop Brexit in a manner that makes it look like they're not trying to stop it and they're trying to deliver it. So, following the debate on various options, the Commons will be suspended for 30 minutes at 7 p.m. Well, that's already happened. Should be finding out soon because they should say 9:30 p.m. The results are in and options are narrow. The second round of voting could also take place next Monday to find a single preference, if it's unclear if the voting system will remain the same. Possible ideas are leaving without a deal, Canada-style free trade agreement backed by some Brexiteers, a customs union plan forwarded by Labour, which would be like Norway, where we're half in, half out. Same thing with a softer Brexit, which is often called Common Market 2.0, which would again keep us in the EU single market and the customs union. Now, there's going to be no whipping in this particular vote. Sounds kinky, doesn't it? But the MPs are not being instructed to vote with their party. And now, usually, that they have a whip, which is someone who forces them to do that and organises repercussions if they don't. So, for example, if you're a minister and you disobey the whip and you don't vote along your party line, you can be basically sacked, or any other privileged position within Parliament. But MPs might be allowed free votes, but they can choose to vote as they wish. And indeed, the Conservatives are actually doing that. Any decision taken by indicative votes would not compel the government into pursuing that course of action, but would show what Parliament wants and where most votes lie. So it's like testing the waters a little bit. But there's always a risk that either no single Brexit option secures a majority, or more than one does. If this happens, Parliament would still find itself deadlocked over Brexit. If certain options, such as Norway Plus or another referendum, are chosen and enacted by the government, it would require a longer extension to Article 50. The Prime Minister Theresa May has also warned that the votes would lead to an outcome which the EU would not agree to. Well, that's exactly. I don't think, as I say, I'll explain later what it means, but it looks as if Brussels would not agree to that longer extension. Now, apparently this has happened before. There was an indicative vote in 2003 when MPs were presented with seven different options how to reform the House of Lords. But it didn't break the deadlock, which means the House of Lords were not reformed. MPs have had a number of opportunities to vote on different ways forward, and as Mrs May pointed out, they have equally been rejected. But these are all whipped votes taken in isolation, so this might be different. Now, the European Union has a very, very different outlook to this. Remember that as I said before, there's a clash between different branches of the elite. The Illuminati are not a united force, especially now more than ever. In fact, they've shown more indecision and panic than I've ever seen before since 2016. They're seeing things differently. The British elite, again, is a Europhile. Neither wants Brexit. Both want this New World Order agenda, this two-stage process, which I talked about last week. Both of them want that to go through. So we get a dictatorial one-world government through continental superblocks being merged into the single one-world government. But they obviously have a crisis with the European side of that, which is the most advanced, which is good. And Africa is second, and then there's these others, which is good news. This is good news. It means that their flagship continental superbloc is sinking, and they can't decide on whether to plug the leaks or to get the lifeboats out. What's basically happening is that the Brussels is seeing it from their perspective. Britain is just one unit in their empire. The British elite, who are also Europhiles, want Britain to be a part of that superbloc right now. They want Britain to remain a part of that superbloc in the course for the one world government. Brussels has a different idea. What they want to do is they're thinking of the rest of the member states. They're thinking about how they can hold this empire together, as taking into account all the member states. And they're also thinking about how cancelling Brexit would look. It is preparing. It says it is completed preparations for the increasingly likely no deal scenario on the 12th of April. That obviously is what I hope for. That is obviously what I hope will happen. Whether or not, we don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. As we also found out that on Saturday, I was at Probe enjoying the conference, whereas hundreds of thousands of people, quote unquote, hundreds of thousands, some say it was 1 million, some people say it was more, marched through central London calling for another EU referendum, calling basically for a repeat of the 2016 referendum, what they call a people's vote. Now, I always support people's I support people's rights to peaceful protest, peaceful street protests, and I'm glad these people were exercising their democratic right to a peaceful street protest. But I feel enormous contempt for them for their attitude, and maybe I'll say more about that in a future video, because it really is. It fills me with disappointment to see people holding this position, and indeed it's personal because my own father is one of these people, and I'll say more about that in a minute. I might not say too much about it because I'm a bit upset about it, but anyway, indicative votes have gone ahead. We don't know yet exactly what the result of that will be, but I'll check the news site in a minute. Tomorrow, a possible opportunity for a meaningful vote 3. The Prime Minister may hope that Brexiteers will finally decide to throw their weight behind her deal, because indicative votes have shown that otherwise the UK could be heading for a sort of softer Brexit that they could hate. I don't know why that. I'm not sure you could actually sell that to the Brexiteers, because like the Tory Brexiteers, Jacob Rees-Mogg and people like that, what they're looking for, what they expect is a 12th of April hard Brexit without a deal. Now, Friday is still written into law as the date the UK leaves the EU, but the Prime Minister is attempting to change that through a piece of secondary legislation. It's as simple as that. Secondary legislation is it to overturn this act. This act was a full parliamentary act. It was a bill that was presented to the House of Commons, passed by the House of Lords. The Article 50 Act suggested that date, and a piece of secondary legislation could be all that is needed to move Brexit back to the 11 p.m. on the 12th of April, 2 more weeks. Because that's scary, because if she can do that easily, what's going to happen? I mean, obviously the EU have approved this, but who knows what's going to happen? Who knows where positions will go? Anyway, nothing that's happening this evening will bind government anyway, let alone the EU. Quite openly now, people in government are talking about something more dramatic as a way out, and cryptically they call it a democratic event. Now, when I first heard that term, I thought they meant the second referendum. What they actually mean is a general election, which is going to happen. It's going to happen. So in summary, MPs are going to vote on Theresa May's deal. If they vote yes, legislation is implemented, Brexit with a deal, 22nd of May. If it's no, Parliament votes on an extension to the 12th of April, which has already been approved by the EU. If it passes, if it's rejected, there's a legal confusion. That's very cryptically said on the news here, which is basically that do they go along with the act on 29th of March? It's not a legal confusion, actually. If it's rejected, then we leave on Friday. That's what the current legislation stands. That's what the law says. If it's passed, then MPs consider alternative option, which include a no deal on the 12th of April and a cancellation of Brexit, and a further extension where UK takes part in EU elections. Then they can renegotiate. There may be another referendum. There might be a general election, possibly all three. Certainly the general election, that's going to happen. The cancellation of Brexit. Again, Britain can do that unilaterally, but as for further extension, again, they have to get the approval of Brussels. Right. So anyway, the Prime Minister originally said there was no guarantee she would abide by the decision of the alternatives. That is the MPs taking back control and things like that, the indicative votes. But then she said this. She tweeted this today. I won't stand in the way of a new approach. And then she went on. She was addressing what's called the 1922 committee. Downing Street has now officially confirmed what the Prime Minister MP told just now. This has been a testing time for our country, she said. We're nearly there. We're almost ready to start a new chapter and build that brighter future. But before we can do that, we have to finish the job in hand. Yeah, I know. Sick bags at the ready, everyone. I've heard very clearly the mood of the parliamentary party. I know there is a desire for a new approach, a new leadership in the second phase of the Brexit negotiations. I won't stand in the way of that. Some people are worried that if you vote for the withdrawal agreement, I will take that as a mandate to rush out on into phase 2 without a debate. I won't. I hear what you're saying. Phase 2 is like the transitional period, but we need to get the deal through and deliver Brexit. Yeah, I can smell it too. Jeremy Corbyn said the government has failed. This House must and will succeed. Someone threw an egg at Jeremy Corbyn the other day. I call him the real egg boy. He's jailed for 3 weeks. He threw an egg at him and said, "Respect the referendum." Well, I mean, I think good for him. This is a bit of a joke here. Jeremy Corbyn said MPs would want to find a consensus on the way forward, including a possible confirmation vote on the PM's deal by the public, something Mrs May told MPs earlier she did not want because Remain would be on the ballot paper. Are you kidding me? She's going to change her mind on that, I'm sure. Ooh. She said allowing MPs to take over the common agenda would set an unwelcome precedent. 30 Tory MPs voted against the government. This is in the vote for the alternative thing. So a lot of the Tories are in favour of this too. So the government narrowly defeated a bid by the Labour's Dame Margaret Beckett to give MPs a vote on asking for another Brexit extension if the deal was not approved by the 5th of April. It was voted down by a majority of 3. Bloody hell, that was close. Mind you, again, you'd have to get that passed through the EU, but Dame Margaret Beckett is, oh God, she's one of the Blairites, isn't she? Tony's cronies. Theresa May's trying to drum up support from a deal. Conservative MP Jacob Rees-Mogg, who's kind of like a hero for the Brexiteers, well, I don't know whether you can trust him or not, but he said half a loaf is better than no bread, and he said that he's going to support the PM's plan if they had the backing of the Democratic Unionist Party. This is 10 MPs from Northern Ireland who basically are in coalition with the Tories, basically keeping. I mean, it's unbelievable. And when this first happened, it was November 2017. And do you remember what I said at the time? I said, it was May 2017. I said Theresa May would be out by the end of the year. She'd be out by November. And I was so certain of that because her position was so precarious after she did the stupid thing of calling a general election. When she already had a majority, she'd taken over from Cameron. She called a general election to try and legitimise her own position. And she ended up losing, almost completely losing. So Labour gained an enormous amount from that. They took back Scotland from the SNP. And she went into coalition with this Democratic Unionist Party, this almost religious cult that was set up by Ian Paisley in 1971. Now, the good news is the DUP are doing due diligence here. They have said they're going to stand firm in opposition, and they've urged Tory MPs to stand firm in opposition without significant changes. And can you blame them? Theresa May's deal would turn Northern Ireland, as I've said before, into a chattel province of the EU. That is worse than being a member state. It's effectively being a client nation of the EU. Northern Ireland would suffer more than any other part of the country from Theresa May's deal. This period that they're talking about, this period of client status, could go on till 2021. They've said they would need until 2021, 2 years at least, possibly longer. There's no sunset clause, so it could go on for longer. It's possible that Northern Ireland could be chained and shackled to the European Union indefinitely. So obviously they're not in favour of that. Oh, and then Tusk is going on about the bloody referee. He's going on about his damn petition. I'll say more about that in a minute, but which is awful. Anyway, he said he profoundly hopes that on Monday there's a majority view in favour of a particular position that the government says that it will carry forward. The Speaker has announced 8 Brexit proposals. MPs have voted with the debate on the statutory instrument, that is bringing the Brexit delay into law. There's a statutory instrument vote, that is the delaying Brexit vote, took place at 9 p.m. and the results should be announced about now, 9:30 p.m. Now, this is approximate. What it will mean is the title of this particular live stream would then be wrong. It's not 2 days to Brexit. However, I'm going to keep the title as it is. So we don't know what's going to happen now. But so Conservatives MPs are given a free vote, as it turns out. Labour's MPs are being whipped to support their own party's proposal, including one for a referendum to endorse any deal. There's some confusion, apparently, over the confirmatory public vote option. Labour MP Peter Khan helped draw up the motion, and today that he expected his Labour to back it. But his colleague Barry Gardiner casted doubt on the support from Labour's front bench, telling the programme the amendment makes it look like a public vote is an attempt to remain. Yeah, of course. And it's not where our policy has been. Oh, really? Do you want to get me? We may only find out if there's a second referendum. We may only find out that Remain is on there when we actually get into the bloody ballot box and see Remain as an option. They may not even say anything before that. This is what you get in dictatorships. They will say they're becoming democratic and they'll hold election, but there'll only be one name on the ballot slip. Sometimes it's as crude as that. The DUP's leader, Nigel Dodds, in Westminster, has co-signed two proposals. One's asking for the result of the EU referendum in 2016 to be respected. So, right, great. And the other, the Malthouse Compromise. I'm not sure what that means, but basically, they don't want this. They'd rather have no deal. Definitely. I don't blame them. As I said before, it's a completely artificial problem. It doesn't need to be a problem. Mrs. May continues to win MPs round her deal. Tries to. It could come back for a vote tomorrow or Friday. Friday is the day written as a law we leave. And there's a vote going on for a statutory instrument to delay it, to roll it back to push it back to the 12th of April. Now, Boris Johnson, Bullingdon boy, ex-Foreign Secretary, told the BBC there was no point supporting Mrs. May's deal without any sign the UK is going to change its approach to phase 2 of the negotiations. Otherwise, he said, he feared the country would be indefinitely tied to EU rules. No shit, Boris. The not-so-subtle subtext of Mr. Johnson's remark was, if the PM promises to go soon, she might get my vote. She's already said she's going to step down. She hasn't said it formally, but she's said that. The process of the indicative votes could go on until Monday. But the first thing they've got to do is get this statutory instrument through so we don't leave on Friday. So what's happening now? So the MPs choose an option. This is a flow chart again. This is a summary. If Theresa May accepts it, which she says she will, the government will try to implement the decision. If not, possible meaningful vote on Theresa May's deal on Thursday or Friday. If it passes, 22nd of May, Brexit with a day deal. If not, we go back to the options of further extension, cancelling Brexit, or a no-deal departure on the 12th of April. Now, the very moment that was said, there was the tweet from the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Most Reverend Justin Welby, who's the only Archbishop of Canterbury I've ever liked is George Carey, and that's because his father was a hospital porter. But the Archbishop of Canterbury has urged the public to pray for MPs to come to a decision that has widespread support for a process that brings national agreement. He tweeted, it's easy to tell politicians how badly they're doing, but they deserve respect. I know you're not supposed to get angry. You're not supposed to swear at these people, at men of the cloth, but shut up, you arsehole, Justin. Anyway, Tory MPs are told to clear their diaries for Friday. Yes, it's Friday. Friday's going to be a big day. Yeah. Now, the PM has said she won't stay. She's now said she won't stay for the next phase of Brexit. She says she'll stand down if they back her withdrawal deal. I'm prepared to leave this job, she said, earlier than I intended to, because of what's right for our country and our party. She knows that Tory MPs did not want to hear her lead the next phase of the Brexit negotiations. She won't stand in the way. She said, I ask everyone in this room to back the deal so we can complete our historic duty to deliver on the decision of the British people and leave the European Union with a smooth and orderly exit. Smooth and orderly, no way. Mrs. May's critics don't want her to be in charge for the next phase. That is the transitional period. Are Theresa May's 9 lives finally running out? I don't know. John Bercow is probably the only person in that room I actually like. ruled last week that the government could not return for a further third attempt unless there had been substantial changes. But a Downing Street spokesman said there had been significant developments at the summit of Brussels last week. And there are extra reassurances over the Irish backstop with the EU, but it doesn't seem to have got the DUP on side. But Jason Rees-Mogg is now coming around. He thinks I think he's just saying, it's better legally leaving is better than not leaving at all. I think he may be concerned about that. Anyway, we are seeing a very distinct split, as I said, in the elite of the European Union and the elite of Britain. As I said, they both want the EU. They both want Britain to be in the EU. They both want the EU to solidify into the one world government, along with the African Union, the North American and South American Union, the Asia Pacific Union, and any other they might come up with. These are the Oceania, East Asia, and Eurasia superpower blocks of George Orwell's 1984. Since 2016, they've entered a terrible crisis, and they can't agree on how to handle it. Now, what it looks like is the British elite want Britain to be a part of this process in the current form it is now. But Brussels wants something different, and much of the continent, the leaders of the continental member states, want to move to a rearguard position. They want to fall back. They want to move to a rearguard position to try and save the rest of the EU, which won't work. But they want to. This is their plan. They want to save the rest of the EU, and to do that, they want to sacrifice Britain. They're very keen to let Britain go, so they can do that. This will slow the destruction of their empire, but it won't stop it. I think that they're concerned about public opinion in other so-called member states. If I said on the last live stream, there's a distinct wave of rebellion across the entire EU, especially in Eastern Europe, in Italy, and several other places. I feel, as I said, I feel this is good. This is good. This is fun. I know it's a very bad soap opera, really, but it's fun because I don't think we can lose this one. Now, the European tyranny is doomed. It is doomed. And if Western monster cancels Brexit, it's going to happen even quicker. So eventually, if we're in a position where the only country left in the European Union is the United Kingdom, you might as well just change the name of the European Union to the United Kingdom. I swear the Ramonas will still be, some of the Ramonas will still be desperately hanging on to their beloved blue-flagged tyranny, even when that happens. They will. It's like Stockholm Syndrome, someone was saying, and it really is. Oh, man, just wait. I just wait if there was an election, when they will win this election, which is pretty soon. I just wait for those canvassers to come to my door, those LibLabCon canvassers, because I will really rip into them after their behaviour. I'll say to them, your parliamentary party has completely and utterly betrayed its duty. If you want to hand in, you can announce your resignation on my doorstep, or you can fuck off. That's what I will use those words. Well, I really don't want Theresa May's deal to go through here because basically it's a return ticket to the EU. I think it's intended to allow Brexit, to give the impression that it's happened. So there will be a Brexit, but it'll be a fake Brexit. It's designed to destroy everything so that they can then say, they can knock on the door and say, can we come back in, please, to the EU? Just remember that, you must remember that we can come back. We can, Article 50 doesn't mean we leave forever. We can, even after it's complete and we're out, we can always rejoin. Oh, of course, come. I thought you weren't going forever. Come back in, yes. It will. The thing is, though, I suppose if there's a deal, it'll shut up those Ramona saboteurs. There'll be no legitimate cause for them to call for any sort of deal, any sort of like people's vote, etc. But unfortunately, and things will calm down in Parliament a bit. But as I said, it'll be a false reassurance. I don't think it's a good deal. Now, if we're out on the 12th of April, that's just 2 weeks later, but there'll be a chance for more sabotage. They're going to try and arrange for extra delays. The Ramonas are going to then redouble because the no deal thing is what they dread. The no deal extra. This is their big propaganda piece. Now, I'm going to go into a couple of other issues now. I'm going to go into a couple of other issues. And there's several other things have happened. Well, one in particular has happened, which I don't think is a coincidence. Another one of them is, of course, what I talked about last time. This is the military exercise that begin on Friday, which could be some kind of military intervention. It could be the disguise for some kind of military intervention. But funnily enough, the European Parliament today backed Article 13 of the new copyright law. Now, this is a very, very destructive move, I believe. It means that tech firms such as Google and YouTube will be responsible for material posted without copyright permission, even if it is a copyright situation in which the copyright breach is so petty that it is inconsequential. For example, using a cartoon for a meme or something. Even then, Google and YouTube can be held personally accountable for that copyright breach. This is why Google and YouTube are normally so keen on censorship and bringing in various types of Orwellian laws, but they're against this one because it affects them too. Oh, there's many people apparently who are against it now, including Debbie Harry, Sir Paul McCartney, or should I say Sir William Shepherd, and many other people have been against this. I will have to see what happens. But anyway, another thing that's happened is there was a petition to revoke Article 50, and it exceeded 5 million. Now, this is the second time this has happened, because after the 2016 referendum, there was a petition to basically reverse the decision of the referendum, which gained 4 million votes. This one gained 5.5. And it's basically said, it's horrific. 5.3 million people signed a petition. It's gone up since then. This was on Sunday. It's gone up since then, making it the most popular to have been submitted to the Parliament's website. The previous highest total was 4 million for the 2016 petition calling for a second referendum. The petition continued to grow following Saturday's march, which organisers claimed saw more than 1 million people taking to the streets. I won't say any more about this, but it's actually pretty depressing that people are doing this. And as I said, my dad is one of them. It's just. I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail about this. I feel it's a personal family issue, but I was very upset when my dad said he'd signed this. They're basically saying that the 2016 referendum doesn't really matter. Treat it as an interim opinion poll, even though, and as I've covered this on previous live streams, when it came out, it was totally different. It was very, very simple. Britain leaves or Britain stays. And people made an informed decision on that. And they won, basically. Everyone who took part in that referendum accepted the terms and conditions. This is what you do. You accept the rules. And many, many people who took part in it and voted Remain are now saying they're not going to do that. They're betraying that. They're hypocrites. They're saying we're not going to. With retrospect, they're saying we don't accept the terms and conditions of this referendum anymore. And they're doing it because they lost and they don't like it. And my dad is one of them. There were lots of speeches at this particular event. This is not just the this was the vote. This was the event on Saturday where the Ramonas were marching through London. It's up to 1 million of them were there, apparently. I don't know how. I wasn't there counting them. I don't know. As I said, I'm happy for people to express their democratic right, however contemptible they might be. I'm not into censorship. Sadiq Khan, the Lord Mayor of London, Sadgit Khan, as I call him, he said, "It's time to give us, the British people, a final say on Brexit." Well, you had your final say in 2016. About what I'd expect from him. Utter contemptible scumbag he is. And a lot of the other people, you know, what's her name? The People's Challenge, Georgina Miller. This is Georgina Miller. It's it's like, as a working class white man, it's awful to be hated this much, to be treated with such contempt, to be regarded by the intelligentsia, by the left-wing intellectuals, as someone who is effectively something between a child and some kind of a Nazi monster. But I won't say any more about that right now, because it's my dad and everything. It's very, very upsetting. Anyway, some people have posted some comments on the actual, where was it? This is bloody depressing. It really is. Let's have a look at it. There we are. Notice of upcoming live stream. I think I copied most of them. Oh yeah, I did. There's been a few I didn't write down. Anthony Morn says the Earth is flat. Pain and Death to you all says no, it's not. Neptune returns. Your brain is flat. Anthony Morn, blow me. If I do a live stream on the flat Earth, will you lot shut up about the bloody flat Earth? I'll do it just for a laugh. I've already done a Panmo radio show about the flat Earth. Anyway, Steve071 said, yeah, there's a new petition on the Gov site back in the no deal leave option. Let's see it break that second referendum poll and stick it up their arse. Yeah, I know. I'm absolutely. I feel awful. I feel awful about these people. I feel really very uncharitable thoughts towards them. Neptune Return says, Ben, this Brexit thing is boring. It's a pile of fetid shit. Can't you talk about something else? The rumours about Jeffrey and what he did with Zippy. He did to Zippy. George and Bungle. Historical allegations. Oh, right. You're talking about Rainbow. Yes. I haven't heard anything about Rainbow, except that I know George sounds a bit gay. There's always some rumours that there's sort of like innuendos in it, which, of course, I used to watch it when I was a kid. It would have gone right over my head. I mean, Diego Rivera says, I am furious with your support for Trump. He now backs Israel again over the Golan Heights and has appointed John Bolton. Trump is a Zionist fraud. Brexit is fake. Smell the coffee. All right. I was very disappointed in the US position on the Golan Heights. I was very, but essentially they're now backing Israel over this disputed territory, which I've always said is Israel have done a lot of damage. There's been a lot of warfare over that issue. And I don't think it's what Trump wants. Same with appointing John Bolton, the neoconservative, who was Bush's ambassador to the United Nations and was very much an architect of the war on terror. This is where I hope QAnon is right, and this is just, Trump will have the ultimate victory. But when this happens, I think to myself, oh, have they managed to get it? Have they managed to get the genie back in the bottle? I hope not. I mean, every time I say this, people send me links to QAnon stuff, and it looks hopeful, and I get hope again. I hope that's true. I really do. But I'm Diego, you can be as furious as you like, but I've explained why I support Trump. I've told you that. Villain Aura says, Brexit is cancelled. The thought police are coming. Brexit is wrong thing. Brum 101 for Ben. Hapanmo. Long live Big Brother. Double plus good. EU good. Theresa May. Yes. Oh. I know what you mean, guys. I really do. Anyway, let's have a look at your comments. Where are we? Okay. Right, here we go. I said, we have Lime Specs has turned up. Hello, Lime Specs. Usual rabble. Yeah, this is a nice little weekly meeting we have, it seems. It's good to see you guys again. Liberace, shut up. Mark Hollingsworth. Hello, Mark. Liberace's now shut up, finally. He's just doing his bloody scales. So let's have a look. The DUP are kicking off as we speak. Right, yeah, of course, this is breaking news. Let's have a look at what it says here. Right, so far, there's a live reaction. It says, May vows to quit if Brexit deal is passed. So that same headline is still there. Let's go to politics, the politics page. The reaction, let's have a look at the live reaction. I'm not going to look at all of these because it goes down a long way. There's lots of things. It seems like in the indicative vote, the majority of MPs, 272 to 264, it's a small majority, were again seeking customs union. But this is an indicative vote. That came the closest. No majority for anything is the sum up. A remaining Brexit option not supported. Labour's alternative plan not supported. For 237 against 307. Revocation to avoid no deal. For 184 against 200. Oh, it's gone down again now. Against 293. So there's a lot of abstentions in that. Confirmatory public vote not supported. For 268 against 295. That's good news. Mind you, again, these are indicative votes, and they are not. They're not legally binding. Right, contingent preferential arrangements not supported. For 139 against 422. Oh, and here's some bad news. No deal not supported. For 160 against 400. That's a huge. They're very, very much against a no deal. So that's awkward though, because no deal might be the only option. Brussels might push us into it. If they can't agree on the deal, then what's it going to be? Common market not supported. For 188 against 283. EFTA, ETA. This is like the alternative. This is the alternative this is another type of relationship not supported. For 65 against 377. Against a few abstentions there. Customs union not supported. For 264 against 272. And that's the one I was talking about. The one that was proposed by Kenneth Clark, who is a Bilderberger. So there you are. It seems like nothing's been supported. Every single indicative proposal all the proposals have been rejected. And here we go. Summary. MPs who voted on a series of 8 alternative Brexit options have rejected them all. Ken Clark, Bilderberger, it doesn't say Bilderberger here on the BBC, no. His proposal for a permanent customs union with the EU came the closest, but was beaten by 272, 264. That was a close one. Theresa May promises Tory MPs she will stand down if they back her EU withdrawal deal. The PM gives no specific date for her departure. But if a deal gets through, a Tory leadership contest could be sometime around May. The PM indicates she could still hold a third vote on her withdrawal deal this week. But the Speaker reiterates warnings that another vote on the deal cannot be brought as it is substantially the same. Now, this is good news. This actually means we could be closer to a no deal. In fact, the headlines just changed as I'm talking. This is breaking news, guys. This is a Hapanwo TV exclusive. I'm probably the first person on the internet to report on this. So I expect this live stream to be trending as I speak. In fact, there are now 7 million viewers. No, there are actually only 44 viewers, but that will soon change, I'm sure. Anyway, right. Yes, indeed. Breaking. No majority for any of the Brexit options. This is good because this indicates Parliament is still in deadlock. Brussels are going to see this, and they're going to be more and more. They're going to be more and more firm in their resolution that we get out on the 12th of April, no deal, which I think is the best outcome. This is the best thing that could happen. Nothing that's going to happen is in any way certain, but this is probably the best option. And the more good news is that there is another protest on Friday. It's not a weekend. It's not ideal. It's not a weekend. But there probably will be another one on Saturday as well. The way things are going, so there may not be quite as many. I was thinking there'd be more people on Friday in London than there was the million or so on last Saturday of the Ramonas whinging and they're waving their little gender study professors' aprons. That's my nickname for the EU flag, and saying, "Oh, we love you. We were never going to give you up. Never going to give you down." All that sort of thing, right? There's on Friday. There's going to be a big demonstration in London, and yes, I'm going to be there, and yes, I'll be taking my Hapanwo TV camera. So there will be a report on it. There will be a video of it soon afterwards. I may go back on Saturday if there's more action on Saturday. I'm lucky. Living in Oxford's good because there's like a regular coach service. It's very easy to get to and from it. I don't need overnight accommodation in London, things like that. Now, I hope and I expect that demonstration is going to dwarf the one on the 23rd. So the people who actually support Brexit and don't like the way the government is depriving us of it in these sneaky little ways are going to come out on the street and they're going to make their voices heard. That's my hope. And I urge anyone watching this, please do come along. You'll see me there. If you could find me in the huge throng, come over and say hello. Be nice to meet you. So Limespec says that the DUP, the DUP Limespecs are really could be kingmakers. They were kingmakers before with Theresa May. That's what they called her. They called her the kingmaker, the kingmakers, because basically, if they hadn't gone into a coalition, then we'd still have a hung parliament. In which case, Theresa May would be hung. No, I wish. No, she would then have to call another election and things like that. So basically, they saved her ass. They saved her bacon. The only reason she's standing where she is at the front by the dispatch box as Prime Minister is because of the DUP. Then they were king makers. Now they could be king destroyers, or indeed empire destroyers. So go DUP. I know they're a religious cult essentially, but they could play a crucial role now. And that, to be fair, they are doing their duty as representatives of the people of Northern Ireland, as the governing party in Northern Ireland, as well as in Westminster. They are doing their duty by protecting the interests of the province population. Because I tell you what, I feel sorry for the people in Northern Ireland. I really do, because they are up shit creek if this deal goes through. A no-deal Brexit will be the best thing for them, because that really Theresa May's deal is it's. Do you remember, like in the 60s or the 70s, they dissolved the Stormont Parliament? That's going to be nothing compared to what happens with Theresa May's deal. It's direct rule from Brussels for up to, they say 3 years, 2 to 3 years, maybe longer. As I said, there's no sunset clause. It could go on for 30 years. It could go on for 300 years if they want. So the DUP are very rightly opposing her deal. And Steve Limespecs has posted some piano keys, a piano keyboard. And as Steve-O71 says, it's our future at stake, Ben. Yes. Yes, indeed. Corinthian Dog says, why can't the aliens teleport the self-serving bastards to Antarctica? Exactly. Russell, get onto that, will you? Russell's back, by the way. His clone arrived in a lead-lined box. The men in black turned up in their black car. They left a lead-lined box on the doorstep, and they rang my doorbell and went out to get it. And there was a clone of Russell in there, and his essence has been added to the clone, and I've blown him up, and there's no leaks, no punctures. He is like a big balloon at the moment, and he's still inflated now after a couple of days, so I assume there's no holes in him, so that's good. There we go. Corinthian Dog, why can't, yeah. Steve-O71, are we getting a probe reportage, Ben? Yes, you are. Again, it won't be for a while, basically, because I got it, it's in the can, but it's actually audio only, but I will illustrate it. Okay, it's an audio only reportage, but it is live, and I have taken photographs to illustrate it. The reason it's audio only is it's going to be doubled up on Hapanmo Radio. But yes, you are getting a probe reportage, but it won't be uploaded for a long time because of the Brexit protests, and because also I have to prepare for my trip to Newcastle. If any of you actually are doing anything weekend after next, please, on Saturday, please get to Truth Seekers Northeast in Newcastle, because I'm going to be doing a talk there. It's really, really good. They're a lovely group. It's a really, really good group. The details are on, just Google Truth Seekers Northeast. The details are all on their Facebook page and also on the Hapanmo Voice blog. Hi, Crafty Nihilist. How are you, Mark and Liz? Is Israel de Vigo? Trump is New World Order, bloody. Yeah, I know. Golan Heights. I know. I've already addressed that. He's not a Zionist selected by the Illuminati. I've explained why. Yeah, and again, Diego Rivera, Brexit, sees London con, Rothschilds behind Brexit, fake news. You're cutting and pasting these things, aren't you? The Limespec says, for fuck's sake, here we go with the Israel stuff. Yes. Yeah, Diego Rivera, please, could we have some original posts from you, please? You keep repeating these things and I keep addressing them. May's double bluff, pass my bill, I'll resign. Ah, well, yeah. Do you reckon she might change her mind once it's all done? Diego Rivera, I'm gonna ignore these continuous repetitions from you. All right, say something original and I'll read it out, otherwise I'm not going to read it out, okay? And Limespec says put a yes. Lime Specs is taking Diego Rivera to task. Yes. Videos from the underground. Hello. Treason May, subversion of Brexit. Yes, that's what she's doing, basically. Using doublespeak, yes. Videos from the underground. She says things like, I really regret that extension to the delay. She means, I really want this delay. I'm determined to deliver Brexit means I'm determined to scupper Brexit. Diego Rivera says, do you support Israel, Ben? No. In a word. That's the only... Thank you for an original post anyway. You know I don't support Israel. Artography. I'm waiting for Ben to start twitching because of the music. It's not even music, it's just scales. He's obviously just practicing. Videos from the ground. I thought the Sudanese played Bongo Bongos. Bongo Land is grand. Oh my goodness me. Like Godfrey Bloom, he said that. I see everyone, all the lefties and the SJWs were attacking Godfrey Bloom for being racist when he talked about Bongo Land, meaning an African country. In fact, Bongo Land in Africa is actually a compliment. Bongo Land actually refers to a place where lots of intelligent people live, because the word bongo, there's various versions of it, but in the Niger-Congo languages, it means a brain. So Bongo Land is a place where there's people with brains. Otherwise, it's like a community of scientists. So Godfrey Bloom was actually being polite there. English Bigfoot, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Yeah, that's... I've done the English Bigfoot with you, Diego Rivera. We need another ice age. Then Britain will be part of Europe, he says as well. Well, yeah, I mean, in the last ice age, when the sea level dropped, the North Sea was above... the North Sea and English Channel were above... at least the Straits of Dover area was above the sea. And it's called Doggerland, and people lived there. They found old flints and things. They brought them up. Diego Rivera says, you should host Newsnight, Ben. You're much better than that gay bloke. Oh, right. Do you mean... honestly, I haven't watched it for a while. It was that irritating Scottish woman doing it last time. The one who leans forward and goes like that. Yes, that's like me. I can't stand her. They've got someone else now to do it. But the thing is, Diego Rivera, all the presenters of Newsnight are bloody awful. Just like they've got that Fiona Bruce now to do Question Time. And she's, of course, they were going to suggest they're going to have a woman, of course, because the BBC are so feminist. But, you know, whoever it was, if it was a bloke, it'd be just as bad. So Fiona Bruce is, you know, so it's not, basically all the presenters of the BBC programs are awful. Except with the exception of somebody whose name I won't mention, because I'll say no more than that. But someone I know, all right, who presents BBC TV programs, who is actually very much on our side. Lime Spec says, one of these days, I will have to put a long comment in one of your vids explaining why I'm the opposite of you at this point. I was once of the same view regarding the 2016 effect. Now I believe. So you're the opposite of me now. I believe it was contrived and bad for us in the long run. Well, please do, Lime Specs. I'm open to debate. Perhaps not in this live stream, but put it on. I'll tell you what, Lime Specs. To make it easy and so I can give you a fuller answer, go to the film Why 2016 Matters and then put your comment there. Okay. Steve071 says, I'm ignoring a Diego Rivera one there because it's just another copy. Come on, Ben, you know that politicians say any bullshit when they're not in power. Well, yeah, exactly. You have to take into account everything could be doublespeak. But I don't think that's the case because of this division over what to do. There's a deliberate, it's rather like 2016 in a way, because there was this very, very, sincere clash over strategy between the different branches of the elite. And I don't think it's feigned. I don't think it, for the reason I say same with 2016, as I say in my 2016 video, this is real. Limefix, what about the Warburgs? The Warburgs, I think, are part of they're part of the Mellon bloodline in the United States, which is all part of the Illuminati. And Diego Rivera says all of the same club. Yes, Diego Rivera also says you need to be whipped, Ben. Oh, Diego Rivera. Oh, a bit of the old 50 Shades of Grey stuff then, eh? I didn't know you were that way inclined. Limespec said Knights Templar were good guys, though, were they? From what I gather, they were, well, that's a long, complicated subject, but they were certainly a mystery school, and they were persecuted. So I don't know. I'll think about that, Line Specs, okay? Diego Rivera says, what I did to Russell. Well, actually, Diego Rivera, what I did to Russell was an accidental. I dropped it. I kind of dropped him and then sat on him by accident. And there was a sharp object there. But anyway, the Russell clone is here, okay? And Diego Rivera says Freemasons. So the Knights Templar Freemasons. All right, Diego Rivera, have you read Born in Blood? That's a good book, that. Kilua says, fuck Brexit. Brexit is shit, is cancer. All one sentence, no punctuation marks. Steve is something when Russell beamed back home to avoid Brexit. Well, Russell is renegotiating his residency visa as we speak, but I think he'll be allowed to stay. I'll keep him here as an illegal alien otherwise, literally an alien. And he's been recycled right now, buried in a Chinese landfill. Well, the original Russell is, but we got the clone here. Russell's the alien brilliant. Says, check the PTO, says Steve-071. Line specs. They voted in the Commons official leave date now, 22nd of the 5th. They haven't, have they? Right, because well, they can't. They can't do it unless they get May's deal. It's not been reported very widely. You may have been watching closer than me. Maybe they've not reported. They've downplayed it specifically. Let's have a look anyway. No majority, blah, 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 blah. Oh, God, it's going back a long way. But it seems likely they would do that anyway. Yeah, here we go. MPs approved Brexit date change. You're right. By 441 votes to 105. Well, that's to be expected. They've approved the secondary legislation to change the date of Brexit. This means the new legal date will now be the 22nd of May if the PM's deal is approved by Commons before the end of this week. If it's not, the new Brexit date will be the 12th of April. EU leaders have said this will provide more time to get the deal through, or for the UK to indicate a way forward, which means basically how to deal with a no-deal Brexit, how to cope with it. So you're right, yes, they have, and that's to be expected. They were. It is. It's the official leave date line specs if May's deal goes through. Diego Rivera says, up the revolution, and computer says no. Computer says no. I'm glad we got some Little Britain fans here. Yeah, I mean, what I'm hoping for Lime Specs is that her deal will be turned down and we get a no deal on the 12th of April. That's the ideal. That's the best position. Not ideal, but it's the best position. And of course, I know very well that before anyone says anything and accuses me of like being naive or anything, I know very well that if we achieve Brexit, it's not the end of the New World Order. In fact, it's just the starting gun in the new phase of the race. It's just the first shot in a new battle, a new stage of this war between ourselves and the Illuminati, between free people and the Illuminati. Corinthian Dog, low turnout today, Ben, says Diego Rivera. Yeah, Diego Rivera, there were a lot of abstentions, weren't there? There was some of the indicative votes, it was like 200 approved, 100 not. When you consider 650 MPs, about half of them just didn't vote. Corinthian Dog says, Mog's backing May's deal, Ben. Keep it. Yeah, well, I said that, Corinthian Dog. I know that. I am keeping up. He is, which is a great shame. It's a great, to his great discredit. He is, well, from his point of view, I can see his position. Well, he'll only back it though if the DUP back it, which they won't. I don't think they will. But I personally am a bit disappointed. I think it would be better for him to go for a no-deal Brexit like he used to do. TK, hello TK. Brexit and lizards night. Nine also Del 1980 says Brexit. Theresa May vows to stand out if the deal is passed. She vows, yes. She vows. Well, she hasn't given it doesn't say when she has to stand down. So I think her vow currently is completely worthless unless she actually hands in a formal resignation, which she may not do. She may, if she gets a deal through, she may say she's changed her mind. She may just say that to get people on there. Angry Chapaz says, there's been a legal challenge on May illegally making an international agreement. Yeah, well, by rights, in fact, there's a guy called Sean who's dealing with that. I know a guy called Sean who's doing that. By rights, she should be prosecuted for treason Indeed, so should Cameron, so should Ted Heath. He should have a posthumous trial. There shouldn't be a referendum. We just rip up our membership papers, because surrendering power to a foreign force of occupation is treason, which is what the European Union is. Diego Rivera, no, I'm not talking to myself. Another Brexit live stream next week, possibly. Williamism, hello. Evening from, and there's a flag here, which is just grey. But welcome, Williamism. You're not, what's his name, Williamson, are you? The guy who does the conspirators. I like your channel, I really do. And also says, Theresa May has promised Tories she'll quit if they back a Brexit deal. Hello, David Schultz. 4 weeks for the Eggman. Oh, was it 4 weeks? It was 21 days when I last checked, but it wouldn't surprise me if they locked the poor guy up for longer. I mean, what the hell? Jail time for throwing an egg at Jeremy Corbyn. For throwing an egg at a two-faced traitor. I mean, honestly. Out, yeah, he'll probably will be out soon, Corinthian Dog. Yeah. Obviously, it's a couple of weeks in jail and it's some time off work, really, isn't it? But still, I mean, his jail is still jail. He has a criminal record. Really, when it's a bit silly. Diego Rivera may have secret talks with Mog and Boris at Chequers before this vote. Well, is that right? She must be, actually. Although I don't trust either of those guys. Boris Johnson in particular, I don't trust. Because he was chummy with George Galloway. Now, George Galloway is a real. He's someone you've got to be. He's very slippery. He's very slimy. He's the guy who was pro-Remain continuously, and then suddenly he became a Leave proponent in 2016. So it's the opposite of Jeremy Corbyn. Mr. MT, an egg will be nothing compared to what will happen to these treacherous MPs if Brexit is cancelled. Mr. MT, absolutely. If this happens, this is a mandate, I think, for some kind of revolution. And indeed, the Brussels knows this, which is why they're trying to avoid it. They're trying to throw Britain out. They're saying, just let Britain go. We've got to save the rest of this empire. Honestly, I will. If they just turn around and said we're cancelling Brexit, that would be. It's a possibility. They could just say we're unilaterally cancelling Brexit. In which case, well, I won't, for legal reasons, I won't say what my response to that will be. But basically, I will be extremely upset and willing to take action to uphold the law of this land. Also, DUP are running the show. They are, aren't they? It's funny, isn't it? It's really funny how Theresa May is so dependent on them. She's dependent on them to be in power, in office rather, and she was dependent on them for her victory in the general election, her very, very Pyrrhic and half-hearted and almost non-existent victory in the last general election. And she's dependent on them now, and hopefully they're going to pull the bloody rug out for themselves. They'll do their duty to the people of Northern Ireland. I mean, people like Miles Johnston and these other people who come from that part of the world. And who else is there? Michael Tessarian, although he's like nationalised American, but he comes from Northern Ireland. You know, these are people who are going to be prisoners, essentially in a massive prison camp run by the European Union. A gulag. It'll be an EU gulag, possibly forever, unless they oppose this deal. If I was a Northern Ireland MP, I would consider it a betrayal of my electorate if I support Theresa May's deal. Diego Rivera, all right. Williamism, to be honest, this Brexit is like a psychology experiment. It's like a bad soap opera. It's like awful reality TV, isn't it? Hi, David. How are you? A sunny day in Maine, USA. Thanks for tuning in from Maine, USA. I hope it's not an inconvenient time of day for you. Have you viewed the Duran on YouTube? In my opinion, the best news article like Brexit in Article 11 and Article 13. RIP. Internet RIP by the EU. Yeah. I've not seen that, but, you know, David, I've explained that we've always been on borrowed time as far as the World Wide Web goes. But I made a video called YouTube Recommendations where I talk about the alternative. Hi, Williamsism. Alan McVicker, hello. Corinthian Dog, 5 million bot signatures. Yeah, I mean, some of the signatures were in the wrong country. It's obvious that there were fake identities and fake accounts for that particular petition, isn't it obvious? Diego Rivera, am I a Zionist, Diego Rivera? No, I'm not. Can we leave it there? I've answered no. Can we just leave it there? All right, you don't need to ask me that question again. Williamism, you know how bringing tangents into the thread, but FFS, Islam and Brexit, brain freeze. Yeah, I mean, as I've made other videos about how Islam has been politicized enormously in the last few years, and Muslims themselves have been targeted with various kinds of mind control, many kinds, from which they themselves have suffered from, and indeed we have, non-Muslims have as well. And I've done entire videos on that anyway. Not bringing tangents. All right, tangents. No, you could bring all related subjects. That's okay. I'll only ignore you if you do what Diego Rivera does and just keep repeating, cut and pasting the same things over and over again. William says 24/7 bombardment of utter wacko. To be honest, ground yourself a lot. I do. Odds and sods. Hello, odds and sods. We can't negotiate deals with people who react to voting with. One. Now you can have your fish and chips without salt and vinegar. Enjoy your cake with no cherries. Yeah. I mean, I was talking about this on the last live stream, I think, and I talked about it with Caroline Stevens. You know, the no deal Brexit scare stories. I mean, it is our millennium bug, isn't it? Do you remember the millennium bug? Just before the year 2000, computers were all going to crash because they only had two figures in their dates. And indeed, Arthur C. Clarke wrote a science fiction story about this. It was quite funny. And another thing was quite funny. The Simpsons did like a comedy special for the Millennium Bug special. It was absolutely side-splittingly funny. You know, like the sandwich maker and the toaster coming towards them to eat them and stuff. Oh, I hope it's on YouTube because it's so funny. But I mean, the list is endless. Cheese will become an occasional luxury. British aircraft will not be allowed to fly over Irish airspace. We'll all get super gonorrhea. There'll be a plague of rats. Because we'll run out of Mars bars, we'll run out of cans of Lilt, we'll run out of everything. And I just said, you know, there's one guy went out and he bought £600 worth of shopping because he has a no-deal Brexit. There's even a bunker. There's a no-deal Brexit bunker which has been built where some of these people are going to hide out. The guy who bought the shopping, the £600 worth of shopping, he's going to get nowhere though, because I joked, I quipped on social media. You know, he doesn't have the zombie killing gun because he's going to need that when the dead rise from the graves. Diego Rivera, Boris is the British Trump. No, he's not. There's similarities between him and Trump, but he's not. I think Boris is someone who Boris Johnson is essentially he's a buffoon on the surface, but I suspect it's an act. I used not to think this, but now I do. I mean, it was Richard D. Hall actually said this, and I didn't believe him at the time. But this is one of the things he's right about. He called out Boris long before I did. I should have been more wary actually, because Boris Johnson is in the bloody Bullingdon Club, isn't he? He's where they do all things, killing the tortoises, burning £20 notes in front of homeless people. They're evil. They're an evil organisation. Odds and sods. 60% of Dutch and 50% of French both voted against the EU constitution. They were called idiots and ignored, yes. In Ireland, yeah, the EU constitution was changed to the Lisbon Treaty to eliminate from voters. Yes, quite right, odds and sods. And Ireland got a vote for it, and they ended up agreeing to it. Well, it was manipulated into agreeing, which is why a second EU referendum would basically be the end of Brexit. If that was allowed through, we must treat any second EU referendum which is produced, we should treat it as essentially a cancellation of Brexit, because that's what it'll be. They won't make them the same mistake they made last time. The 2016 errors they made in 2016, they won't repeat them. This is why if they say the government stand up and say we're having a second referendum, a people's vote on Brexit, well, we will say no. That's you cancelling Brexit. Neil Austin, hi Neil, how are you? Thanks for joining us. House of Lords indicated a statutory instrument was not required. See today's UK column. Really, so the House of Lords have said that we can just extend it anyway. As it happens, they voted for it anyway. So it's an academic technicality, but that's worrying, isn't it? Limespace gets to the comments. I know. Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. You know, but why leave 1-1? Denmark Maastricht Treaty, 51.3 forced to vote again. Yeah, Ireland's treaty. Yeah, exactly. They keep having referendums until they get the result they want, which is why a second referendum, they are going to try and push us into that. It's quite likely. They'll find some way to get us a second referendum, unless Brussels really push us out. Theresa May was 80s page 3 girl. Was she, Diego? I don't remember her. Diego Rivera, talking to yourself is the first sign of madness. Really? What's wrong with talking to myself? I mean, how else do I get any decent conversation in my life? Tractors and trailers. Steve, to page 3 of Tractors and Trailers Monthly. Horse and Hound. Notting Hill. Yeah, Line Specs. Have you heard anything more about Barry Gardner holding up Dick Hall's DVD at Q time? No, right. Yeah, he put a statement about it on his website. Well, let's have a look. I haven't checked, but I know Richard put up something here. He put up a statement. Hang on. It'll be on his blog page on his website. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Introduction to Red Planet. Watch the latest shows. Where's his news blog? Right, somewhere. Where's his news blog? Let's looking for the latest news page. Recent site updates. Here we go. NP slanters. Yeah. Question for MP describes Rich Planet film as racist abuse. Yeah. I actually said this in my 2016 video. I hope, because Richard sends these DVDs to various MPs. And it's the first bloke who even mentioned it. Barry Gardner. And he only mentioned it on Question Time to slag off Richard. I hope, Richard, if you're watching, sue the bastard for every penny he's got. I'd love to see that. How about Barry Gardner's own website? What's he saying here? Here we are. Barry Gardner at MP. Barry Gardner. Where is he? Where's his personal? Here we are. BarryGardner.com. Barry Gardner MP. Here we go. News. Makes his voice heard. Oh, where are we? Debate on modern anti-Semitism. Oh, here we go. Hang on, let's have a look. We'll go back a bit. I'm not going to search for his website now. We're in the middle of this. No, okay, now we're going back too far, but it'll be on his website somewhere apparently. But I'm in the middle of the live stream. I need to get this done. Yeah, I mean, there's been no updates yet, Line Specs, but really, it's an awful thing that he did. It's absolutely appalling what he did. I mean, it's awful that the MPs have they watched these DVDs? I credit to Richard. I mean, he keeps trying, he keeps sending these DVDs for them, and when they don't watch it, and essentially they're announcing their abdication from their duty. And the only time they even mention it is Barry Gardner on Question Time. At least that's good. That's good advertising for Richard. He should make the most of it. Diego Rivera says, Ben for Eurovision. What song could I sing? If you could think one up for me, make it a good one for a change. Oh, it's gone to the bottom right. Just scroll up again. Right. Oh, no, we're going right down. Where are we? I've got to find it again. Williamson says Brexit and has a mitten there. Diego Rivera says the DUP vote against May. DP by the DUP. Double penetrated. Yes, indeed, she has been, hasn't she? With half a packet of sand up each hole. Good for them. Good. To hell with her. Diego Rivera says, are you playing the white man card, Ben? What is the white man card? Is this... I mean, is it this alt-right thing about how the Illuminati basically are the goal of the New World Order is to destroy white people? I don't agree with that. I've explained why on previous videos. I think it's a strategy they're using, this political correctness, cultural Marxism, and everything like that. But I think basically the Illuminati see all humans of all races and religions and genders and nationalities as essentially another species of farm animal. You know, pigs, you have cows, sheep, and humans. Of course, as there are Frisians and there are Jerseys and there's different species of cow or different breeds of cow, there are different breeds of humans as well. But I don't see any reason why the Illuminati should favour one breed over another. I think they hate us all. They want to kill us all. They want to reduce our numbers to 200 million and kill everyone else and make us into cyborgs. where we have microchips in our brains and things like that. E-Man says, my family is similar, but was E-Man, you know, it's awful. I mean, there was actually a documentary on TV about people who's basically family, about family conflicts over Brexit, about one member of the family who's voting differently to others. And I think I could have been on that documentary, but maybe I'll say more in the future about it. But it's painful because it's about my general relationship with my dad. And I love my dad, but I have a lot of issues, a lot of problems with him. I mean, you know my Steve video, my message to Steve. You know, I bring it up in that one, but I touch on it in that one. Don't read that out too late, Eman. No, Eman, sorry, yeah. I mean, you can delete your comments, all right, if you want to. I think you can go back and delete live chats. I'm not sure. UFO so serious. Hello, UFO so serious. Hello, how are you? DJ B2. Hello. Zippy was an S&M gimp. Right, well, you know, you can imagine with oral sex, you know, it could be a bit, you could suddenly do like that. When he's in the middle of performing oral sex, he can go zip like that. And that's a 50 Shades of Grey maneuver, isn't it? A vid I sent by mistake on WhatsApp needs to be censored. Well, on what vid? It hasn't appeared, so William, it hasn't appeared. Probably it's been deleted. Probably it was deleted. It depends what it was. Possibly it was deleted. Dave Altman, hello, Dave. How are you? How are you getting on? That's my American friend there, Dave. Another one like David Schultz. We have Dave Altman, another American. How's things? E-Man says, what about Christchurch? Did you see the utterly absurd video? I'm not saying no one died. I just know, but that video is clearly fake and insult to intelligence for credit. Right, E-Man, I've not looked into this in detail yet. When I first came across it, I didn't see any reason to think it was a false flag of any kind. Now I'm not so sure. I'm withholding judgment on it. As I said on the last live stream, all I can say is it was a terrible tragedy, and deepest condolences to people, any viewers in New Zealand, especially the loved ones of those who were killed. I did watch the video, and people said, "Watch it again, Ben. You'll take it apart." Well, you know, I don't want to watch it again. I've seen too much of that sort of thing when I was a porter at my hospital. But I mean, there are some dodgy things about that guy, Brenton Tarrant. Like he traveled an awful lot. Apparently, he went to North Korea and to Israel, and apparently there was some kind of event in Spain in the North Korean embassy there, which seemed to be rather like what happened at the mosques in Christchurch. In which case, maybe we should look into that. I don't know, but I'm leaving it for now. I'm leaving it for now. Just saying, very, very sorry it happened. It was an awful thing. Williamism says, yet now it's an assault not only on democracy, but on our senses and our minds. I've watched hundreds of folk getting stressed watching these Muppets and Spabloment. Yes. Well, you know, Williamism, it is frustrating in many ways, and I don't enjoy it. But maybe there is a sort of silver lining. There is a cherry on this cake. There's a silver lining to this cloud. And that is, as I said, it's in a sense, it represents perhaps even a 2016 scale breakdown in the control system, maybe something as big as that. And it involves what Terence McKenna called novelty, the injection of novelty. And it's a big subject, but if you listen to Terence McKenna's audios, and he has an awful lot of them, I mean, there's like hundreds of hours of his audio, but I tell you what, they're wonderful, and I never get bored of them. I listened to like an 8-hour one once. It's incredible. I listened to non-stop once. But he talks about the injection of novelty. He says they go through certain cycles of injection of various novelty into these things. Novelty is things that go against what is conventionally regarded as normal within society. And he claimed there was a cycle leading up to sometime near the 2012 Mayan calendar, even though he didn't seem to know anything about the Mayan calendar at the time. But obviously, we're now a long way past 2012. But that's a big subject. Maybe I'll say more about the novelty thing another time. I'll have plenty of time for musing when I'm on the coach to London on Friday. Don't worry. I'll do one of my normal camera, you know, my headshots where I got the camera pointing at me and I'm rambling. Williamson says, "Oh, where are we? Omerta, Ben. Is that Spanish? What does that mean?" Diego Rivera, deal or no deal? Oh my goodness. Funny thing about what's his name, Noel Edmonds. He's getting a bit David Icke now. You know, he was talking about cannabis oil for cancer because he actually treated his cancer with cannabis oil, and he was on this morning, and he's really bloody good. I took my hat off to him. He's another guy who's actually part of this he's trying to sue Lloyd's Bank for various losses that were made during the 2008 crash. He's taking on the financial system. Go Nigel. Noel, I say. And Lime Specs disagrees with Eamon about the New Zealand thing, and I mean, I think maybe that's true. From what I can see so far, I think it is real. Not everything is a conspiracy, but I'm open to be corrected on that. Eamon says, one good thing, my Remainer brother said, this is another referendum, he'll vote leave just because he predicts civil war if the vote is overturned. Well, Eamon, I mean, he may be right. I think there's going to be, as I said in the previous live stream, there's plans for an engineered civil war, but there may be there may well be actually a civil war, but it won't be one which is not intended. What rumour, says Williamism? Iman Padima says, Lime Specs, are you kidding me? It's the fakest thing. All right. What I'll do is, if you two guys want to debate the New Zealand shooting, okay, I'll let you guys debate it. I won't comment on everything you say, because then I'll just be commentating on your dialogue between each other, which I won't comment on. Okay. So as I did last week, because on the one last week, something a rant. Two people were ranting at each other about the flat Earth. I don't mind doing that. I'm anti-censorship, even if people want to rant about the flat Earth. As I said, I'll do a flat Earth live stream if it will shut you people up. If I did, I'd probably get like 1,000 views or something. All right, then. Geographer says, it's all about tonight, Ben. Is it? Let's have a look. Let's go back to the news actually, and just see if there's any updates. It's still the same headlines. No majority for any Brexit option tonight. Okay, right. There are we. E-Man says they pass such a piss poor production offers real. Oh, okay. Order out of chaos. Well, yeah, but Diego, I think there's different kinds of chaos. I think this might be a good kind of chaos. You see, there's chaos that they artificially engineer, and there's the chaos which they don't plan, which which is actually rather like the 2016 effect. All right. Jock Trucker Joy says, oh, what's this? Oh, sorry. What was that? Haha, Ben's wearing a big thong. I'm sure you are not. I couldn't sit in this seat if I did. It would be too painful. Right. There's Lime Specs and E-Man are debating the New Zealand shooting video. Williamism says, raise the vibram out of the macabre. I don't know what you mean, but Williamism, I try to see this in a kind of positive way, in a sense that I think, really, despite sometimes I feel like tearing my hair out. Well, if I had any, I would tear it out. And I'm gritting my teeth when I see these MPs rant, this kind of drivel, kind of verbal sewage they keep pouring out. But then I think to myself, how can this actually end well for the New World Order? And it can't. They lose Britain from the EU, where they've lost the biggest economy in the EU, and they have an independent state, which was not meant to be independent, in the same way that the 2016 effect with Trump. They this means that their EU is in big trouble. If they cancel Brexit, there will be insurrection, I predict, of some kind, as E-Man's friend was saying. Someone's voting leave now just because they don't want to. If they vote, they will vote leave in a hypothetical second referendum to avoid that. What's more, the EU will collapse even faster, because the cancellation of Brexit will be the EU essentially confessing that it is a hegemony. It's an anti-democratic hegemony. And Brexit, the movie, will then become a best-selling. It'll be shown in every cinema. Oh man, it'll be. If they cancel Brexit, we should cheer, because it'll be wonderful. It'll be absolutely wonderful, because it won't be so much people taking red pills. It'll be red pills falling from the sky into people's mouths the moment they open them. And Brussels know this, and this is why they are trying to kick us out. Obviously, I mean, obviously, I'll be angry if they do it, and there'll be a lot of righteous indignation, but it'll be a little half smile at the time. Where are we? Ben's rumbled. What censorship? What are you talking about, Diego? Williamism says mankini. I'm not wearing a mankini. Look, what are you talking about? What on earth are you talking about? Williamism. Are you talking about me? Jock Trucker. Kind of expecting a national incident that could force a delay in Brexit, a la 7-7. Well, Jock Trucker, you're 100% correct. And indeed, this did come up. It's come up in the last couple of videos. If they are that desperate, they really are that desperate, they'll do it. And I wonder what those 10,000 foreign troops who are landing on Friday are really here for. Apparently, they're here for the regular exercise. This is something they do regularly in Scotland, but it's actually going to be far more extensive than usual. The actual exercise is coming as far south as where I am at RAF Bryce Norton, which is near me. Are they here for another reason other than the exercise? I wonder if the troops have packed any live ammunition along with the blanks. I don't know. But you're absolutely correct. Absolutely. Limespecs says, sorry, I can believe in false flags, but all right. Limespecs is talking about this thing. Yeah, Limespecs, it's true. I mean, I'm really on your side in this because I know that real events can happen. Real events can happen. I mean, this guy, Tarrant, he was a troll on 8chan and things like that. It just doesn't mean that it's not in some way. If it's contrived, you can say it's contrived. It's in a sense, as I said last week, he essentially is part of this. He's essentially been brainwashed by this drive that the globalists have to create a civil war, and essentially he's taking his part in that civil war. He's not directly mind controlled, but he has, in a sense, got on the bandwagon with the propaganda leading up to it. Where are we going now? What censorship are you talking about, Diego? Article 13, if you yes. Sammy Dodger, hello. Thanks very much. Glad you liked the video. Okay, okay. DJ B2 says that he or she walked past a local war memorial, and saw the remains of a Freemason's wreath front and centre. All right. Yeah. Christopher Morland, hello. Will May be kicked out like Thatcher was back in 1990? Well, Christopher, it won't be the same situation. It will be Thatcher was kicked out in 1990 because she decided to stand up to the globalists, and she decided she didn't want Britain's integration into Europe. It just shows that what happened was the EU agents within government essentially staged a coup d'etat and removed her. The Iron Lady was actually nothing more than a paper dolly. Edwardian Lady, hello. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Mog is in favour of Article 13 too, is he? Well, in that case, shame on him. And I think if he's in favour of Article 13, then it's more likely that he is controlled opposition. As Caroline doesn't trust him. I don't trust. I think he's, I think we shouldn't use him as a focus for anti-EU sentiment any more than we did Nigel Farage. Illyrian Lion, hello Illyrian Lion, welcome. I don't think I've seen you before. Ben, great message. It's so important for people to realise that we can have victories against the New World Order. Exactly. This is what I said in my film, Why 2016 Matters. I mean, please do go and watch that if you're new to this channel, because I go into this in detail. I do explain why not everything that happens is what the New World Order want. Things go against what they want. And in 2016, for a few months, everything was going against what they wanted. And that's a wonderful sign. It means their grip on our world is weakening. Marguerite Carter. Hello, Marguerite. Welcome. Rooting for you from America. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. Oh, thank you to you and all our American comrades who are on the side of Brexit, on the side of independence, on the side of the natural order of the earth rather than the New World Order of the earth. And let's hope we can get this world into a better place so we can have a better world. Jake Fletcher, love you, Ben. You too. Hope you sorted out Steve. Thanks, Jake. Steve, I've not heard a single thing from him, and my dad hasn't mentioned him. I think hopefully he will have seen my video. I hope he got the message. I hope he did what he will have done, because I was pretty unequivocal, wasn't I? Christopher Morley, you're from Northern Ireland too. Well, Christopher, good luck, mate. I mean, really, I'm rooting for you guys very much. Please, I am totally and utterly I'm totally utterly behind the parties, the politicians who are against the deal. Jake Fletcher, don't trust Diego as he badmouths you on other videos. Does not your channel, but on others. Well, Jake, thanks very much. You know, I haven't seen these videos. If what he says on other videos. I mean, I've watched some of his videos, but I will look. I mean, if you want to email me some links, I'll have a look at them, and I will reply to them. Diego Rivera says, you're on good form tonight, Ben. Thanks, Diego. I feel good, actually. I feel pretty good. There's 58 people watching, and I feel quite, yeah, I feel quite happy with that. Just piss off, Diego, says Jake. Oh, Jock Trucker says, I'm now calling it Brexit. Yeah, there's another guy who called it Brexit. I remember he was like, my nose is itching again. But he was a guy who actually used to be a good friend of Ian R. Crane and used to like help organize his conferences and things. Then he suddenly flipped. He suddenly became like so mainstream. He became skeptic, anti-conspiratorial, very pro-Remain to the point where he just was really, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how he changed like that. Because I used to talk to him at the Alternative View conferences, and I can believe how suddenly he's not explaining why he's against it. He's just using a lot of rhetoric, a lot of anger. And he blocked me on Facebook. I disagreed with him on Facebook, and he just blocked me. He called me names, and he told me to apologize and remove the comment. I hadn't said anything wrong to him. I just disagreed with him, and I said, no way. And he says, and he blocked me. I've not seen from him since. Diego Rivera and Jake, you guys can argue if you like, two of you. That's fine. I don't keep people from each other if they're both being if they're both on equal footings. If I see someone dogpiling another poster, I'll delete that person and ban them. Right. Williamism. Ben, what your view on psychics? Williamism, and please watch my interview with that lady who's sadly passed away in Truth Seekers Northeast. What's her name? She sadly passed away. I'm very interested in psychics. Also watch my Helen Duncan videos. I'm very, very interested in spiritualism and psychics and psychical research. It's another of my passions. Diego Rivera says Jake is gay. So what? Well, it may not be true. You don't know that. And if he is, who gives a damn? TK, do the lizards want us in or out of Europe? Or do they not care? As it's all just about distraction for us petty souls. They do care. It's not just distraction for us petty souls. As I explained in my Why 2016 Matters video, do they want us in and out of Europe? Well, at the moment, they can't agree. They are divided over how to limit this damage. They're basically on a massive repair job for the damage done in 2016. And they can't agree on what strategy to take, as I explained earlier. Some of them want us in, some of them want us out. Email says, Boris pretends to be a character from P.G. Wodehouse novel. Yes, but he's more calculating in reality. Yeah, it's he's got this sort of lovable buffoon-like persona, which I sort of believed it for a while, but I don't anymore. Jago's homophobic, says Jake Fletcher. I think that's a banning. Well, if he says, well, Jake, if he starts hurling homophobic abuse, I'll ban him. He just said you're gay. I don't think that's homophobic, but if he does, I'll ban him. Okay. And Diego is gay in the other sense, you prat. Ding ding. Look, if you want, Jake, if you want me to put a stop to this, I'll put a stop to it. All right, and I'll tell Diego to stop. Just let me know, because I won't. I don't mind if two people want to have an argument. That's fine. If they're both evenly matched, I'm fine. But I say if one doesn't want it and the other one's dogpiling them, I will stop that person from dogpiling you. Okay. So let me know which you want me to do. Yeah. Email. Oh, it's gone to the bottom again. Where are we? Up we go. Yeah. Boris is like Idi Amin. Yeah. He acts like a buffoon. Yeah. Have you seen that film, The Last King of Scotland, with Forrest Whitaker? That's very good. It's all about the Idi Amin regime, and there's this Scottish guy, at least like a tourist. He's a backpacker in Uganda. And he's a bit of he's a young idiot, basically, and he's sort of backpacking and working in various charity things. And he he ends up being personal assistant to Idi Amin. It's a great film, The Last King of Scotland. It's really good. E-Man says, Ben, have you heard of Bernardo Kastrup? He's a philosopher who's very good at arguing against materialism. The name rings a bell. I think maybe Anthony Peake mentioned him. I'll look him up. Okay. Jake says, I hope to meet you one day, Diego. I'm a big 6'3", 20-stone guy. That's right. He's a tough... he's 27 years old, into boxing. Well, Jake, you know, if you watch my Confronting Droik video, you'll find that people who talk tough online are very unlikely to act tough in real life. And you can, I bet you, if you make an appointment, you two, to meet up, he won't turn up. I bet you. E-Man says, weird, I just searched for Barry Gardner and Google predicted the right Barry. I hope Google isn't listening to my PC. No, it's probably just your cookies, because you may have searched for him before, E-Man, or you may have looked at some of the things that he has said. You've been looking into the Richard D. Hall thing, and that's why it could be you found Barry Gardner suddenly come up. Susan Hayward Tonkin, hello Susan, how are you? Well, good morning to you. I'm a bit tired this morning, stayed up late to finish my new book. I have to say that I'm worried at this point you will never leave the EU. All right, well, good luck. I'm glad you got a new book. Well done. Good luck with that. Obviously, I'm glad you finished it. Congratulations. I'm worried about that too. I am. Although, as I said, if we don't leave the EU, I can't see how they can keep us in the EU without making it obvious they're doing so against our will, which will essentially expose them. If you watch the recording, because I go into this in detail. Jake Diego. All right. Someone who's called Turd Burglar has just joined. Now, that is homophobic abuse, and I'm going to just ban that person. Right. Okay, Jake. Jake is arranging a meetup with Diego. That's fine. You do it. But if you do, take your camera, because it'd be great to see internet tough guys actually turning up to a real life confrontation. Because, you know, Droid didn't with me. Droid was too gutless to come and face me. What's his name? Jan Irvin was too gutless to meet up with Thomas Sheridan. Is Diego going to have enough guts to meet up with Jake, the boxing Ulsterman? All right. Okay. I'm quite happy for like you guys to confront each other if you want. Neptune, hello, Neptune. How are you? Sorry, I'm late. Not a worry. Forgot about Ben stream. You saw a UFO tonight. Oh, I can't expect it to upstage a UFO, you know, Neptune. But you know, so it's really, send some photos. Diego Rivera, Ben, your love child is threatening me. He cannot make a point of his own. No, he's not, Diego Rivera. He is suggesting a good old-fashioned man-to-man discussion. That's not a threat, right? Just, you know, arrange to meet up with him, or just say you don't want to meet up with him, and you just rather just abuse him on the internet. That's all you have to do. It's not a threat. He's not saying he's going to do anything to you. He's just offering you a phone number so you can have a meetup. Hey, why don't you do that? It's funny, the Droik actually said on the forum when I said I was going to meet up with him, he accused me of threatening him. When he was the one who was abusing me for years, and you're calling me names I wouldn't repeat in the Refuse Porters Lodge. And then I said to him, let's meet up then. Say those things to my face. He says, yeah, I'll do. Oh, you're threatening me now. I said, no, I'm not. I can't allow open threats of violence here, actually. Okay, but so far Jake hasn't made any. Jake has just suggested, as far as I can say, he's just making a meeting. He's not actually threatening violence. He's not threatening. If you don't like it, Diego, just don't share your phone number. Mark, yeah, here we go. Neil Desperandum. Hello, Neil. How are you? No good reason I've seen to conclude the Christchurch shooting was fake. I haven't either yet, Neil. I mean, I've seen some suspicious elements. Some people have joined. I haven't actually seen anything conclusive, to be honest. Oh, right. Bright light faded and faded out. That's odd, Neptune. It sounds, if you can't identify it, it's a UFO, yeah. Yeah, it's... All right, nonce. All right, that's more homophobic abuse. I'm removing that. Okay, you finished debating now. Time specs. All right, Jake and Diego, sort it out privately by all means. My experience is that people who mouth off online never ever mouth off in real life. Neil, why on earth was the video? Okay. All right, there's another one. Oh, you're talking to me now, right? You're hurling homophobic abuse at me. Oi, non, stop chatting shit. You look like a gimp with your hat on. Well, get stuffed then, you twat. Go on, bugger off. Neptune, Socrates, here we go. Neptune returns, says, Socrates said, I know that I know nothing. We all know nothing. That's it. It's like, I think it's the Buddha who says that a wise man is a fool who knows that he is a fool. Neil Desbrandam. Why do you need to... Yeah, okay. Red Fraggle. Hello, Red Fraggle. Do you ever used to watch Fraggle Rock? Is that where you got that name? Red. There was one called Red, wasn't there? Do you remember? I used to love Fraggle Rock. It was a Jim Henson thing. It was a very good one, too. Hey, Ben, apparently we're off back to the moon. I hope the spacesuits are the correct size. Keep the great work and look forward to the next installment of the Apollo Detectives. Thanks, Red Fraggle. You know, yeah, I mean, there is going to be an update. I can't tell you what that is, but the Apollo Detectives team are going to get back together and maybe do something. Well, it may even be something else. But we are making plans. I can't tell you what, but it will come. It will come about. Fenlander69 said this chat looks fun. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Fenlander. Thank you very much. Williamism says BK new one still on about that vid. Is that Scottish? Craig, hello Craig, how are you? God, I hope they do cancel. We're doomed if it goes through. Nissan and Honda have already pulled out the. No, I'll tell you what. That thing in South Wales with the car, that's got nothing to do with Brexit. They had to admit that. They had to admit it. All right, Andrew Davis, I'm banning you. I thought I'd already banned you. There we go. There we go. Right, I banned that. Right, ban that person. And I've deleted the message. Right, you are. I thought I'd already done that. How can we ban someone? You have to do it again. City of London is done for all. Well, let's talk about us. You know what Caroline was saying about moving the financial district to Frankfurt, centralising it in the EU. That could be the next stage. Neil Desbrandam says, Red Fraggle, you know how when you try to get your big sofa through the small front door, adamant it won't fit. Eventually it does. Same thing with a lamb. All right. This is about the moon landings. Okay. Jay Hobson, hello, how are you? Hello, hope you're okay. Glad you're back on track about the Steve video. All understood. Well addressed, cathartic for you, Ben. Thank you very much. Thanks very much, Jay Hobson. Yeah, it was it's good to be back. William is a no money shot. All right. Lime specs. It's going to be bad. Well, you know, what's going to happen is there's going to be, whatever happens, there's going to be some kind of, bad things are going to happen. There's going to be some kind of false flag that goes on. Cause a lot of destruction. And we're going to get a punishment beating as well. There's going to be economic vandalism and financial vandalism and attacks that are done, like they did to Russia. When Russia refused the IMF loan, they crashed the oil prices to try and sabotage the Russian economy. I can see them doing something like that to us. But the thing is, we can't, if we use that as a reason to do what they say, we're essentially appeasing them. And they'll just do it to someone else. We have to stand up to them. Corinthian Dog says, new cam belt for a car on London for March on Friday. All right. Corinthian, I hope you can get one. I want to see you there. Craig says, I had to write an essay on parliamentary sovereignty recently. The Brexit issue had my head boxed. All right, well, university or something. Be careful what you say, you know, because they can kick you out for almost anything now. Right. William has said something. That church had a bad name, which didn't condone some loon killing folk, though. That wasn't in the media. What do you mean? Jake Fletcher. The trolls have gone. Hope so. Yeah. Jake, I think I've got rid of most of them now. Finlander, we should just leave, no deal, and fuck them all. Yeah, exactly. Just go. That's what we just walk away. As Sargon of Akkad said, just walk away. Okay. Oh, I'm still. Diego Rivera's still there. Racontus News. Hi, Racontus News. How are you guys? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us. Williamism. People need information and knowledge, accessible and transport. Okay. Neil says, all right. I think missiles in motion can do all sorts of strange things. We can do the conclusion. All right. Okay. That's about the Christchurch thing. Craig says, I think, sure, we need to ratify Article 13 into domestic law before it has success effect here. I'm not sure what it actually, the rollout procedure is for it, Craig. Hopefully it'll take a long time. Hopefully there'll be moves to stop it. Hopefully there'll be nation states will go against it. Obviously, there's another reason why we need Brexit in Britain, so we can go against it. Hopefully it'll encourage other member states to rebel. I mean, Austria, Italy, all Hungary, how much longer seriously are they going to remain EU member states? They're actually in a much stronger position than we are, because they may not have their referendum, but they actually have political people in power. They have anti-globalist politicians in power. Diego, New World Order is stronger than ever. No, it's not, Diego. No, it's not. Email says they couldn't shoot a Stetson off without injury. These clothy beanie type hats. All right. Neil, Deputy Returns, Article 13 level will destroy YouTube. It will. I mean, if they have their way with it, it'll be devastating to the YouTube experience. It really will. And YouTube are going to come down even when YouTube are personally liable. They're going to cooperate, of course. This is why we need to look at the alternatives I talked about in my last YouTube video. Jeff Moss says people keep banging on about civil war, but how can that happen when most of us are not armed? All we do is dig out catapults we used as a kid from our attic. Well, there's more armaments hanging around than you might think. Exactly. It's not like America. In America, there are large numbers of people who own guns. There's a large number of people who are trained to use them properly. Of course, people in Britain are not, unless they have a military or police experience generally. But that can change. That can change. Neil Austin has posted a YouTube link, which says, it's Cameron's speech. No further along than 2 years. Yeah, it's about David Cameron. He did actually say there'd be a referendum, and Britain would leave the EU. Then he said that Britain would leave the EU. Yeah, Quincy the dog. There are always options like that. Yeah, and I'm saying to people, disclaimer: don't break the law. All right, guys. But I'm not going to go into details for legal reasons, but there are means by which we can actually defend ourselves in an event of massive state crackdowns. Jake Fletcher says, at the end of the day, it's impossible to take all Europe with force. Napoleon and Hitler proved that. People of Europe are waking up, and its clandestine empire will be destroyed within. Yeah, 50 years. Before then, I hope, Jake. It's going to have to happen before then. Lime Specs. Is the Black Knight still orbiting? I don't know, Lime Specs. I mean, after that ridiculous Pepsi advert. Well, it was actually, I quite enjoyed it, but then it was spoiled like this, sort of like a big extended advert. I actually thought it was pretty good, and then they announced it was just an ad for Pepsi. I know there's been some photos from the ISS about showing strange things. Jonathan Ball. Okay. Hi, Jonathan Ball. For we all know it is. Jonathan, where the fuck are your eyebrows? Here. Hitler and Napoleon were puppets. Are they gone? What the fuck? No, I've not heard anything about it. My eyebrows, Jonathan, they're short. I've got small eyebrows. And you may not see them quite clearly on the camera. Where the frick is your... I've told you, that's where my eyebrows are. Craig, nothing a VPN can't handle. That's it. Well, setting up VPN, virtual private networks. I suggested that the porn ban could be overcome by this. I've written an article all about the UK porn ban. If you go on If you go on to her Panama Voice, answer me, says Jonathan Ball. I've answered you, Jonathan. Is it really important to you that you know where my eyebrows went? Is it really that desperate? Are you really desperate to know that? Where am I going now? Okay. I'm gonna overcome, like, there's a debate about the New Zealand thing. Peter Moore, hello Peter. There is no Brexit. Oh no, there's no spoon and there's no Brexit. I know. Let's have a look at the news, see what's happening. It seems like this is life. No majority for any of Brexit opinions. Right, options. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Neil, you would hear that. Okay. This is an illusion. That's an illusion, says Peter Moore. Well, we'll see what happens. Blah, blah, blah. I said expect an incident. What event would you expect, says Jock Turner? You mentioned the 7/7 like event. It could be something like that, an explosion of some kind. It could be a shooting like we've had in New Zealand. It could be like a plane hijack and something like that. It could be some kind of they'll be thinking of all kinds of different scenarios for false flag operations. Diego Rivera, how dare you? I've been threatened. No, Diego, he's not threatening you. He's offering to meet up with you. If you don't like it, just say you don't want to meet up. And then that's it, and make that the end of your argument. Craig, just ban off timeout rather than discuss it. Well, I'm not. I said, if two people want to argue, I'm not going to stop them arguing. But he's not threatening you, Diego. He's just suggesting you meet up. That's all. That's not a threat. A threat is when he says he's going to come and get you. He's not said that. He's suggesting you meet up. You don't have to meet up with him. Jake is an American kid. Jake's from Northern Ireland, Diego Rivera. Craig, the video is available in various places, and I'm not going to tell you where to get to it. I'm certainly not going to allow links to be posted to it here. It's a horrific thing to see, and I understand why people want to see it, and yeah, I've watched it. Peter Moore, Theresa May was put there to make sure there was no Brexit. Yep, that's exactly what the job she's doing. Diego Rivera, I will confront you, Ben, says Diego Rivera. Well, you haven't said anything that makes me want to confront me. I've already offered. Like I said, I confronted the Team Droik, and they never showed up. Diego Rivera, not in the comments. Diego questions the reputation of people who interview you. Jake, I mean, you can email me and let me know where he says that. I'd appreciate that. BennyJ74gmx.co.uk. The link is on the Panama TV blog. I think we should have a game of Brexit bingo. I should have for a full house. Hugo Roon, hello, Hugo. I think your friend Jake is a prat. Oh my goodness, Hugo, you're joining in the fray. Goodness me, it's now a Mexican standoff. Hugo Roon, Jake Fletcher, and Diego Rivera. To be honest, there's more important things to deal with right now, guys. We've got the future of the world at stake. Jake, you're from York in the UK. Do you live in Northern Ireland? Okay. I'll meet you. I don't want to meet you, Diego Rivera. You meet up with Jake if you want to meet something. Lime Specs. I want to meet Ben for a pint. I'd like to meet you too, Lime Specs. We can have a friendly discussion. No need for a confrontation. Okay. Rio Desperado. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's about the thing. What's your tipple, Ben? I bet you're a bitter or Guinness guy. I like cider or lager, sometimes a glass of wine. But have we met before? Because I think you did say you came. Was it Exopolitics or something we met? I'm going to other conferences. Like I say, if you want to get to Newcastle Saturday week, I'm going to be speaking at Truth Seekers Northeast. Lovely to see you there. Richard Kinzer, hello. We need to hire a Western town hall for the shill cowboys to have it out. Frozen mackerel, the only weapons allowed. Great, this chat is AIDS. Diego, stop repeating the same things again. I'm not going to meet you, okay? It's affecting my content in a negative way. Craig, I'm sorry. I don't feel comfortable, right, just telling people, if people want to argue between themselves and I stop them, it's a form of censorship. It is. And like, obviously, if they start issuing threats and they start breaking the law, or they start dogpiling people who are not in the argument, then I'll ban them. That you see, it's, in a sense, this is a form of free speech. And if you feel it's affecting your content, I can see why, but I have to stick by my principles here. All right. And there's no, perhaps Jake and Diego, I'm asking you, like, you've got this option of meeting up now. Perhaps you can now knock it on the head. All right. You can continue it. You've got, Diego, you've got Jake's phone number. Maybe you can carry it on privately now. All right. You've got his phone number, Diego. This is getting tiresome. Great film, says Jake. Which one was that? But there are. I mentioned several films. Was it They Live? Yeah. I'm glad you enjoy it. Let me just get rid of that. Oh, how are we now? Diego Rivera, you've got the number now. Scroll up if you didn't see it. All right, you can meet, you can Jake and sort this out like two gentlemen. Okay, I'm just letting Jake's now posting his phone number again. All right. Well, Craig, I'm half an hour behind the chat. That's true because I read a lead off. This is not like an AMA. This is a themed live stream, and it's a themed live stream, and people could stick within the live stream, okay? And I have a lead off. Okay. What's this? Okay, where are we now? Look, Craig, I've explained, like, I'll probably dip in this year. Okay, you need to keep up with the chat and stop allowing trolls to fuck with you. Okay, keeping up with the chat. The chat runs while I'm reading the lead off. That's true. If you want to post things when I'm done reading the lead off, do it. If not, I'm afraid I'll read the lead off, then I come to the chat. That's for allowing trolls to fuck with me. As I said, this does come under free speech at the moment. All right. I know it's annoying for some of you. I'm sorry about that. You can actually ignore these people. All right. Here we go. See, Susan, Max Egan has a really sound, clear-minded video of the New Zealand shooting. I'll have a look at that, Susan. I really do. I'm gonna have to. I'm now gonna let's drop this. Just drop this standoff between Diego Rivera and Jake. You sort it out privately now, please. I know I said this is just, I think Craig's got a point. This is starting to nuke the discussion. Oh, man. Where are we now? So I'm deleting Diego. I'm deleting Jake's and Diego Rivera stuff because you guys, I've allowed Jake to post his phone number for Diego Rivera. You could sort it out now. All right. Professor Fez. Estonia did really well after leaving. You guys will be fine. Has Estonia left? Because as far as I can tell, Professor, the Article 50 has only been enacted once, and that is for Greenland, which is not in Europe, it's in North America. It's actually a overseas protectorate of Denmark. Jake says, I'm sorry about this, but I'm sick to death of these people. Jake, it's all right, mate. Look, I'll now delete the stuff that Diego's posting, okay? He's got your phone number. You've chosen to post your phone number. I'll delete everything he says to you now, all right? But could you please not reply to him? Okay, I'll delete your stuff if you don't reply to him. Oh, Richard, oh, Jason. Yeah, Jason of Raconta's News. That's right. Where are you now? David Schultz. So long, Ben. See you later down the road. If you get a chance, check out the Duran on YouTube. I will. Yeah, I will. Professor Fez, guys, just refuse to put fuel in your car for one day. The effect will be, the treasure will be devastating. They will listen then. We know these kinds of strikes do work, you know. They really, really do. And it could be just ideally. Neptune turns says, Gemma O'Doherty. Gemma O'Doherty is lovely. Oh, she's brilliant. She's trying to get the movement going, but the establishment are shutting her down. Hotels won't host her meetings due to anonymous threats. Yep, it's exactly like David Icke. It's exactly like so many other people. They're just trying to, you know, there's partly it's the SJW, sometimes it's the intelligence agencies, but they are basically trying to keep us quiet. I mean, she's had trouble on YouTube as well, but she's incredible. She's an incredible lady from Ireland. Absolutely brilliant. Paul Culliford, no deal. Yes. Thanks, Craig. I'm glad you're still here. Craig, you have actually made a good point about the trolls, and I'm not going to, they've got you right there. You know, I am going to now start deleting some of the things that the trolls that in terms of the arguments. All right. Winslow, hello, Winslow, welcome. Alan McVicker, tried Guy Ben. I could have lobbed a Maltese into your gob from here, man. Please do. I love them. Or minstrels, even better. Right. You tried. Oh, tired. Tired guy. Oh, you're tired. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, yawn, yeah. Jake Fletcher, yes, Paul, no deal. That's what the result was. The people's vote in 2016, exactly. And Corinthian Dog says no Brexit, no council tax. Well, you know, that was actually painted on a wall in Sunderland today, in graffiti, and which means that up in the northeast, where they've been very, very pro-leave, they are really effectively planning civil disobedience if this goes ahead. And I'm 100% behind them. I'm actually visiting the area in the weekend after next. And well, I hope those guys will come along to my event. Right. There we go. I've gone to the bottom again. Right, up we go. Where are we? Where are we at? If we Corinthian Dog says, we don't get Brexit, the plebs should withhold taxes. We should do anything we can. We should, any form of disobedience, everything, any time of lawful rebellion, any form of lawful rebellion you can think of. Okay? That we should do it. Yeah. Hey, Kev, it's the Kev Baker Show. Hi, Kev. How you doing, mate? How you doing? Professor Fez, Ben's got cloned. He's an alien, hence no eyebrows. What do you mean no eyebrows? What's this obsession with my eyebrows all of a sudden? I've got small eyebrows. Oh, right. Diego Rivera, shut up. Diego Rivera is posting rude messages to Kev Baker. Don't you ever do that to Kev Baker. All right, you leave him alone. Okay, I'm deleting. I've had enough of this. I'm deleting Diego Rivera's shit now. So this is going to take a bit of time because I'm now deleting this crap. Jake, please don't reply to Diego Rivera now, okay? Hang on, how do I do this? Here we go. That's it. I've just now deleted. There's a function of deleting all his comments. That's great. Right. Where are we now? Okay, let's delete that. So it's just taking a long time because I've got to basically mod the chat, mod this thing now because of this argument. Charles declassified. Who's threatening my people? That's my job. Get out. Get off my manor. Oh yeah. Charles is just is a bit annoyed because at the moment because he tried to phone into Richard Dolan's show and Richard wouldn't pick up the phone. In fact, there seems to be only one person who picks up the phone to Charles, and that's me. I'm the only person who's actually spoken to him on the phone. Well, it was Skype actually, but then he just phoned up to, and I could see his face. He was on a camera and he hurled abuse at me. See, everyone found my Charles videos very funny except Charles himself. Okay, hang on. Jay Hobson, Ben, what are your thoughts on Emery Smith and his recent revelations with David Wilcock? I haven't looked into it much. I found the things that Corey Good and David Wilcock go on about quite mentally draining. The stuff about the Antarctica stuff is really real, but the blue chickens, I don't get into it. Williamson, have you bought or looked into Obsidian Mirror or the Stone, Ben? Yes, it's in the British Museum. Apparently it belonged to Dr. John Dee, the alchemist, and the really interesting that, yeah. Richard Kisner, a hijack event such as John Cleese says, take this bus to keep. That was good, that wasn't it? Hey, Kev, thanks for joining us, Kev. Charles says, Wilcock, I took him down. Yeah. Corinthian Dog, stop reading this puke. Think of your channel, man. All right, look, you guys have convinced me, Corinthian Dog. I can't allow this. I can't allow conversations like that on here. And I don't like doing that because I believe in free speech. But you're right. Craig said the same thing. It is getting just disruptive. And so I say to Jake and Diego, you guys, you have to sort it out now privately. Jake's giving you the phone number, just sort it out privately. Jake and Diego are in love, says Neptune Returns. Jeff Moss, Cadbury's Brexit is a new chocolate bar that wants to leave the shop but is not allowed. Yes. All right, I'm just hang on. Oops, gone to the bottom again. Am I at the bottom? No, I'm not. Hang on. I'm just deleting again. There's still 57 people watching it, so I'm pleased that you're doing that. Yeah. Right. Oh, hang on. Okay. Alan McVicker says, hilarious the way you folks act in the cyber world behind keyboards. Would they actually like this in reality? No, they wouldn't, because I've actually done an experiment to test that, actually, Alan. And it's called Confronting Droik. It's on my channel. Please do watch it. You'll find it very interesting. Hugo says, Ben, I haven't seen any number at all. I'm sorry. You have to scroll up for it, Hugo. Paul Culliford, no dramas, chill, stick together. Yeah, I mean, it's Lime Specs. I agree. I'm now deleting that argument. Okay, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry that I allowed it to go this far. I'm now deleting it. Right, lads. What size feet are you? Alan, I'm size 12 actually. Just another delete. I'm size 12 feet. I'm Bigfoot. They called him Bigfoot. Hey, Diego, that's where the British Bigfoot is. It's me. Charles Declassified. Charles has got both your numbers. Know what I mean? I'm sure he has, Charles Declassified. Yeah. Jeff Moss says, why don't they just get a hotel room together? You're size 12, are you, Jake, as well? My goodness me. All these Bigfoots are big feet everywhere. So that Bigfoot, he was the goodies, wasn't it? Bigfoot. They called him Bigfoot. Corinthian Dog, it's not censorship, it's sending children to their rooms so the grown-ups can talk. Capisce? Yes. You're right. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah. Alan McPhee saves you whapping out your Tadgers. I do not whap out my Tadger. Well, I haven't accepted the right company. And she's no longer in my life. For your information. Email, I haven't seen Max Egan's video. I know that Susan suggested it. I'll watch it, but at the moment I'm on your side in this. I don't see any reason to call this as a false flag, the Christchurch thing. Craig, when you see something, how we interact and converse with you, the stream is not fluid. All right, yeah, Craig, yeah, I mean, I know you posted that a while ago. I am actually deleting those guys now. You're right. Okay, you're absolutely right. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, Neptune. Max Egan stuff. All right, Craig, I hope you'll keep listening because I am now deleting. I'm now deleting it now. Neptune, I haven't seen it, but I will check that out when I have time. 69 Phuket, hello then. Is it not happening? Well, you mean Brexit? Looks like it's not. Shane Diego. Okay. Let's just go at that. Lime specs, yeah, I don't know if it's possible to switch off chat and then activate it again when I finish my lead off. If I find a way to do that, that might not be a bad idea, actually. But I know some of you guys like to talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing the lead off. I'm innocent. Ben, says Hugo Boone, I'm not a fan of Diego, but honestly I agree with him. There's been no phone number from Jake. It seems she's lying. Sorry. He honestly, I saw him post it and I approved it. It's not something I recommend, but he chose to do that. If you scroll up, it's there somewhere. Unless maybe the Google mods have deleted it. That's a possibility. Okay. It could be that Jake's said he's posted his address. Maybe that's a T. All right. Craig, I agree. I'm not acknowledging them now. I'm deleting their stuff. Okay. And I think the Google mods might have deleted a couple of things as well, because Craig, he may have deleted Jake's phone number. It's good to have you here, 69 Phuket. It really is. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I deleted that accidentally. Hang on. I'm starting to delete messages accidentally. Okay. Can I undelete that? No, I can't. Sorry. Let's go to the bottom again. I'll scroll up. Still 60 people watching now. Where was I? Okay. Yeah, he's gone now. Craig says, welcome to the stream. We're discussing a fight between viewers. Oh, not anymore, you're not. You were right, Craig. I have deleted. I'm deleting this stuff. You said I should and I should, yeah. No surrender is probably how the DU people put it, says he, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I just... Alchemy, are you pro-Brexit? Alchemy says. Well, Alchemy, you've obviously just started watching. Watch the recording and you'll know within 5 seconds. Or watch some of the others, you'll know within 5 seconds what my thing is. My council tax is a tiller. You're offline, Specs. Okay, see you then. Thank you very much. Thank you for posting. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye, Lime Specs. Yeah, and I'm sorry, Lime Specs, if you were upset by the interaction. And I have actually taken your point now and I'm getting rid of it, okay? Yeah, the bins can wait. We got the rats ready. Oh, the rats. Oh my goodness me. Paul Culliford said, big up the Kev Baker show. Yeah. The Kev Baker show is fantastic. Even the ones which I'm not on are really, really good. Email says, how much council tax goes on necessity? A lot of it goes on not necessarily works and scams. Yeah, and all the bureaucrats. 69 says, we can eat rats. Yes, you can actually eat rats, but it's not very nice, but you can. Hugo Roon. Ice King, hello, Hugo. Sorry, but that's all right, Jake. I've got rid of him now, okay? So, Craig, will posting numbers get the channel banned? I don't know if that's the case. I mean, maybe I should actually go back and delete the numbers. I don't know if I can find them. If I can find them all. There's just so many. I think there's just so many of them. What I might do is just switch off the live stream when I finish this. I don't know, because fancy a meet up with Charles. Declassified. Neil Desperano. What do you think of the late Colin Wilson? I think he's really interesting, Neil. He's a mystic and he's a paranormal investigator, and he's interested in spiritual ideas. And what's more, he used to be a hospital porter. Pride of dignity to him. Ice King. Do you get what? Hi, hello, Ice King. I just said hi. I wouldn't want to encourage people not to pay CT and council tax. Well, it's the thing about this. It's rather like with the poll tax. You know, eventually it wouldn't be a very long. It wouldn't have to be very long if enough people were doing it. Yeah. Socialist Workers Gazette says, I regret to inform you that it's been delayed, pal. All right. 69, Phuket. Wartime spirit is a thing of the past. Oh, but I'm going to have to go back and see if I can. I don't think I can. Let me just have a look at all chat. Hang on. Top chat. Live chat. All right. Let's go and find. Okay. What I might have to do is delete all of Jake's video. I'm sorry, Jake, but I might have to. If you posted your phone number and it's looking to get me banned, hang on. What's happened now? I want to go back. Top chat. All messages visible. How come I can only see a little bit of it? A lot of it's gone missing. Oh, come on, blimey, what's happened here? Jake, I'm sorry about this. I think I'll have to delete your. Currently, I'll have to delete your stuff. What I'll do is I may be able to moderate some of your stuff. Okay, because I'll go back to top chat. Maybe that'll help. Because you posted your phone number. I don't know what's happened now because. Damn it. What's happened? I now can't see how I can. Hang on. Wartime spirit is a thing of the past. Yeah, okay. Is that where I got to? Yeah, okay. I was thinking for a moment I'd lost all the chat things. Could please people not post their phone numbers if they want? If you want to have an argument, you can go onto their channels or something. Wartime spirit. Ice King. Are you 29? 29 what? I'm ageless. Charles declassified. Atticus 1 is a phony, Ben. Too much hair. Yeah. Oh, Atticus 1. That's the last time I saw him was at the Atticus 1 thing. Starshine. Where in the northeast are you going? I'm speaking at Truth Seekers Northeast. Let me just tell you the venue because it's on Facebook anyway. You can get it as well. I'm speaking at the Walkerville Community Association, Pinewood Close off Appletree Gardens, Newcastle upon Tyne, NE6 4SZ, Walkerville, Newcastle upon Tyne. It's Saturday the 6th of April, starts at 1 p.m, lasts till 4 p.m, costs £5. So I do hope to see you there. Yeah. What's the time now? Oh, it's another long one. E-Man, we get the fake keep calm and carry on version of the Blitz Spirit used to back up PSYOPs. Well, yeah, it's something like that. Neptune turns. I have a hilarious interview with Wilcock and Kerry Cassidy where he is crying because the Illuminati want to kill him, and the Bogman Irish guy comes on and claims to be protecting Wilcock, very lol. The Bogman Irish guy, is that Miles? I've not actually heard that one. I'm actually on the Project Camelot next Wednesday. If you want to tune in then, it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday the 3rd of April. So I'm on, I think the first show I'm on, but check it out on Project Camelot. The thing about the bailiffs and things, Craig, with the council tax, as with the anti-poll tax thing from years ago, if you if you actually, if enough people do and it's organised, they won't be able to stop you. There'll just be too many people. Craig says barbecue and two. All right. Hugo Roon. Hugo Roon, I've had to delete all of Jake's posts. Okay. I don't know if he put his number there or not. I couldn't find it, so I had to delete all his posts. And I've got to apologise, Jake, because I don't think some of your contribution is really good. Even Diego could be quite eloquent at times, but actually, if you're going to post stuff that could get my channel banned, I mean, I know things can get my channel banned anyway. Like I've already noticed the things like that Secure Team 10 talks about, where they're reducing your profile. But this is not arranging or helping you arrange a meetup is not a hill I want to die on. So I've got to apologise, but I've had to delete both your contributions, all of them. All right. Carry on believing gov.com has the answer. .con, yeah. 69 Phuket, Sid James. 69 Phuket, the gay one is Theresa May. Paul Culliford, how can or when can we watch or buy Capel Green? In May. It's coming out in May. Okay. And you're right, Craig. The bailiffs that are very, very limited. Their powers are limited. Just look at the freedom on the land people, the TV license collectors and people like that. All you have to do is know your rights and stand up to them. Alchemir says, why do you Brits moan about Eastern European migrants who actually hold jobs and pay tax, while you take a lot of Asian migrants in countries like Pakistan who mostly don't work and just claim? Well, I don't think that's true about Asian migrants. The point of the matter is I'm actually opposed to all immigration. I think it's being used. This is not because I feel any hostility or resentment for any people or group of people. I live with 2 migrants, and they're good guys. But it is a trick that's been used by the government to alter society in the way they want. I've said that. I've done a whole video on that. What about Brexit 69? All be home. No, you won't be homeless. They can't. If all of you do it. Well, Hugo, I know. I mean, Hugo's just talking about the number again. I've got rid of it now. Okay. Where are we now? Diego, where are we now? I love the Kev Baker show. Yeah, please do watch it. It's really good. Oh, hang on, it's gone to the bottom again. Where am I now? I'm getting tired. Oh, we're talking about Piers Corbyn. Yes, Piers Corbyn is a meteorologist. He's anti-climate change. I remember when he first came out, I met Piers Corbyn. Piers Corbyn used to go to the Kent Freedom Movement, and I used to meet him there. And he was good actually. Before, the thing about the Kent Freedom Movement is they got angry with me because I disagreed with them, because they were shill shaming somebody and I disagreed with them. And I explained politely and calmly why I thought they were wrong. And basically, this whole shill shaming thing, they're only doing it because they had a personal falling out with this person. It was actually Danielle Leverité. And I made the points. I made the same points to them I make about Larry Warren now. And they got angry with me and banned me. They called me names and banned me. So I can't go to the Kent Freedom Movement anymore. But Piers Corbyn has been more accurate than anyone else in changes in weather. Yeah, but he's not the Labour leader. He never would be. Good channels to get your mind off politics. Yeah. Winslow Burdett says, all right. Walker, is rough as it, Starshine? Well, keep telling people, everywhere I go to Newcastle, everyone says that these things are all places are rough. But I go there, and the people seem very nice. You're going to bed 69. Okay. There's still 53 people watching, but you've got to drive 100 miles tomorrow. Okay. Well, sleep well, guys. Sleep well. Where are we? Neptune Return says it was years ago on American Freedom Radio. Wilcox crying. Oh, right. I don't remember that. I remember Wilcox did cry on one of the things. Maybe it was that. I don't know what to make of David Wilcock, to be honest. And Diego Velasquez. Hello, Diego Velasquez. Ben is a policeman. Well, I'm a sort of policeman of this chat, yeah. Oh, this is your other account, Diego. Well, yeah, I you know why I blocked you? I blocked Jake as well. It's because you were despite my commitment to free speech, you were nuking the entire live stream with your argument. Okay, and well, I don't want that. It's really all because I don't want this. I don't want to have to stop you guys from debating and arguing with each other. But you crossed over a line, and it was other people in chat were finding it too difficult, and it got to the point where I thought I don't want to spoil it for everyone else. That's why I blocked you. You'll be unblocked for the next live stream. So will Jake, but just please keep your arguments out of it, please. I don't care if Jake gave you a number or not, right? Just leave it now, all right? Charles declassified. The Wilcock death threat was bollocks. I just threatened to steal the bell from his bicycle. He took it too far. Oh, you got a video about that? I haven't watched it yet. I'm an undercover policeman. No, Diego, I'm in the open. Yes, I did block you. See you, 69 Phuket. How are you? Where are we now? Okay. See you, 69. Thanks for, and Phuket is dropping off to sleep. Have a good drive. Man. Don't you start, Neptune, please. Don't. Diego, I didn't ignore your comments. I deleted your comments. I can't believe no English people want to work there. Winslow says, I'm always intrigued with the bucket at the top of the fridge, Ben. What's in that bucket? Now, that's been a source of enormous debate. People have suggested it's a wee in there or something. It's actually for laundry. Or it may be where I keep the biscuits to give to the aliens when Russell's friends turn up. Oh, right. Hospital coppers for the New World Order, says Diego Valero. Yeah, go and make comments about Trump then. Alchemist, shut up. Fuck off. Not right. See you off, Williamson. Bye-bye. See ya. Starshine, yeah, I thought that. I mean, nowhere in Newcastle seemed particularly rough, actually. It was all right, actually. Hugo, yeah, I have. I've got rid of them. And I got to apologise to people who got upset by that. Diego Rivera, you were... Oh, bloody heck. I don't care. I make a video or something, but don't nuke this live stream with your arguments. I say the same to Jake. Charles declassified. The Wilcock thing was 2011. It was a publicity stunt. Alex Collier was the alien on the telephone with the Irish accent. I never saw that one, I don't think. Really, Neptune, you got it on your hard drive. It's probably still online, actually. All right, Diego, look, if you can expose me if you want, but, you know, you can do that if you like. I don't object to that. But it was upsetting other people. I've got to apologise out to people, right, because you did ask me to deal with this, and I've dealt with it. I'm sorry I didn't originally, okay? So I'm sorry I was slow in dealing with the whole thing, that situation between Diego and Jake. On the next live stream, it'll be different, okay? So sorry about that. Yeah, American Freedom Radio. Yeah, Kerry Cassidy. Right, I think I've actually... Shut up, Diego. Just shut up. You were trying to intimidate each other, and it's not the place to do it. It's an old one. I mean, a lot of these old ones are around. No, I'm not going to apologise to you. Shut up. Kerry Cassidy, yeah, AFR. It was an old one, but I remember listening to one where Wilcock starts crying. It was a long time ago, and I mean, the thing about it is, what's the thing about it is, I mean, people are always messaging me saying, "Oh, Corey Good and Dave Wilcock are just frauds," and I don't accept that. Well, I mean, I do find a lot of what they say very incredulous, but I don't accept that at all. I really don't accept that they're all frauds. I mean, the Antarctica stuff, for example, is just too like what this guy Jack was telling me. There's something about it. I mean, the problem is, some of it, the stuff that might be incredulous might be true. There might actually be blue chickens around, aliens. I've actually know a guy on Facebook. He's actually a man who came along to my Denmark talk at UFO Denmark a few weeks ago, who said that he had seen these blue chickens. He was an abductee and he'd seen these blue chickens. I mean, I don't want to dismiss it. See. Okay, it's getting late. It's now 20 to midnight. I don't have to do a big drive tomorrow like Phuket, but I've got to get up for work tomorrow. Corinthian Dog, I've blocked him. All right, I'm going to block. I have blocked him. I'm not soft as shite. I'm committed to free speech, and I have got rid of him. All right. Night, Diego. Good night. Thank you very much. I've got rid of him now. All right. You were right all along. I'm not a soft. It's not soft as shite to actually hesitate to stop people talking. All right. James Bacchus. Hi, James. Shout out Nick. He's your biggest fan. Oh, who's Nick? Nick. Hello, Nick. Hello. Welcome. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you go. All right. I'm now going to ban your other account. I'm tired of this. You off then, Hugo? Night. It's getting late, isn't it? Thanks, Neptune. Thank you very much. Night, Hugo, and have a good night. And Neptune returns. Right. Eamon Padina says, do you think aliens might be astral traveling and abducting people's astral bodies? I've never heard that theory. It would explain a lot, I think. I think there's more to it than that, because there does seem to be some kind of physical displacement when people are abducted. For example, the famous what's her name? Linda Napolitano case. There's been several others. There's the CCTV. There's that one that was captured on CCTV as well. Professor Fez says the real issue with Antarctica is that America and Russia have been sharing a military base there since the 1950s. Which one? Oh, hello, Nick. Yeah, James, I will. Yeah, you're off too coloured, but it's getting late now, isn't it? I'm going to end the stream in a minute. But Paul, thank you very much for posting. Do you want to say I'm going to say good night to everyone now, because there's still 50 people watching, but I need to get to bed. So good night, Hugo, and Neptune returns, and Eman Padima, James Bacchus, Professor Fez, Paul Culliford, Craig as well, MK3, Williamism, Corinthian Dog, Starshine, everyone else. It's been I've enjoyed this. I must apologise for... Oh, Richard Kinsick's just turned up. Sorry, I'm just clicking 3 Kingdom. Everyone's turning up now. As I said, I apologise for not reacting properly to the trolling straight away. I have done now, and I will do in future. Okay. And I've got to apologise for making the wrong decision there. I've now made the right decision. Good night, 3 Kingdom. And Joss, can you say hi to black people? They like KFC. Well, not all black people do. It's not all white people do. Hello, black people. Hello, white people. Hello, everybody. Good night, Jeff. Good night, Craig. Good night, Professor. And Adam Hunt. May angels lay to your call. Thank you. That's a nice way of saying good night. And good night, Nick, my biggest fan. And Ebenezer, who is a KFC manager. Night, Williamism. You guys... I've banned Williamism. I banned both of Diego's accounts now. And nothing as it seemed. Yeah, tune into Project Camelot next Wednesday. I'll be on there. I don't know what the show's going to be about. I just had it confirmed a little while ago. Okay. Nick, I said, yeah, Nick Gurr. Nick Gurr. Is that his name? All right. I love you too, Josh. You guys are fantastic. And what's coming up now is that on Friday, Tara from Newcastle, Starshine, I hope to see you at Truth Seekers Northeast. Look it up. It's on Facebook. Hope to see you there, Starshine. See you, Williamism. On Friday, I'm off to London. I'll be filming. I'll maybe off to London Saturday as well. If I'm quiet until after the weekend, don't worry. I will be filming in London, and hope to get some reports on that soon. Obviously, the Brexit thing is still open. There'll be an update on that at some point. Next week, there may not be much going on because I'm preparing for my Newcastle talk. I will be filming the Newcastle event and recording the talk as well. And the probe, and of course, I haven't published the probe stuff yet because I've still got to edit it, but it is in the can. I have filmed it or recorded it. So, guys, once again, Brexit now, Brexit hard. And you guys all take care. Much appreciated. Which has Ben is Illuminati. I think that's a good last comment for this live stream. Take care, guys.